I'm live. That's interesting. Huh. Well, this might be YouTube's new version of live. Okay. Well, I'm live. Now I'm going to sit here and I'm going to wait to see if anybody shows up. I know that somebody had sent me some money. Heather. So hopefully Heather will show up tonight. Venus has entered Cancer. Hey, Kim. Hey, Crystal. Oop. I'm trying to understand. I'm sorry, guys. Sorry, hold on a second. Now I can see you. Hey, Robin. Hey, Lisa. Hey, Noom. Can you guys see me? Man, technology sucks. Hello, Heather. Did you come to get your reading? All right. Well, let me get your cards. And everybody just know that tonight I am doing live readings to start. And to chat. I haven't done a live reading in like over a week. Hold on. Let me get all my shit. And get all my cards. Mushroom cards. Oracle cards. All the things. Actually, I'm going to use these cards. Okay, for some reason, YouTube will make the comments disappear until somebody comments again, and it says waiting for guest, and I don't know why it's saying waiting for guest. This is, like I said, I'm so used to going live on TikTok that this is going to be a really experimental. Well, it's not experimental. I've done this before. I'm just having a really hard time. Why am I having such a fucking hard time dealing with this right now? Hold on, people. I am so sorry. I'm having all kinds of technical difficulties. And I do not understand why. Hey, Courtney. This is very new for me. I don't even know what you guys are seeing on your end. Thank you, Robin. Here, let's do this. Can you guys see? What can you see? What does that look like? Does that look like I'm looking into the camera to you? Or does it look weird? Or do you like that? Can you hear me better? Okay. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you for liking my chat. And what I'm going to do is Heather has already paid me for a reading tonight. Hi. I always get accused of not looking into the camera. Okay, so, hey Joanne. I guess I'll find out what this looks like later. Actually, you know what? I lied. Just give me a second, people. Give me a second. Let me go to my YouTube. Let me log in. Let me just switch profiles because you know I have 5011 profiles on all social media channels. Let me switch my account and go look at what I look like from the outside. Oh, there I am. Live readings and coffee chat with Ryan. Just Ryan. Let's see what I look like. There I am. Live readings and coffee chat with Ryan. Just Ryan. Let's see what I look like. There I am. Live. Okay. This is really... Okay, now I see what I look like. I don't know what I look like on mobile. Are you guys on your computer or are you on your phone? Now I'm going to go look at myself on my phone. Okay. Thanks, Robin. Okay. All right. We're going to leave that alone. And I'm going to set my timer over here and I'm going to shuffle up my cards and Heather is going to get her reading. And I'm going to keep moving forward because this is new for me, everybody. And I'm going to have to get used to this YouTube style of going live. Okay. Heather, are you ready? I'm pretty sure you're ready to get your reading. I have my coffee here. It's hot and black, just like I like my magic. Now I'm going to shuffle up these motherfucking cards. The cards that I'm going to be using tonight are going to be the Herbal Astrology Oracle deck, the Herbal Astrology Oracle. I use 2 Oracle decks and 2 Tarot decks in order to do my readings. I've also got the Earthcraft or Earthwise Oracle. I think it's the Earthcraft Oracle. Let me put my coffee over here. I feel like I'm going to get moisture all over it. Okay. I've got the Herbal Tarot. There's multiple herbal tarots, but this is my favorite herbal tarot. You'll be able to show you. I'll show you the images, so you'll see them. And then the last one is the Mushroom Hunter Tarot. But whenever I pull a card for somebody, for the most part, I show you the cards as I read them. So that being said, we're going to awkwardly move forward now. You know what the awkwardness is? I figured out what the awkwardness is. The awkwardness about this live is that I'm going to take a screenshot of this so I can show you guys later on Facebook what I'm seeing from the broadcaster point of view. I guess I'm so used to on Twitter seeing so many constant bubbles and things flashing and comments are always going, and this person has come in and this person has come in, and it's like really overstimulating visually. And this is actually really simple. Like I just see my big fucking face. And when you guys comment, the comment appears and then it disappears. So it's not like I see a running chat. Man. TikTok will really screw you up. But you guys can see and hear me okay. I prefer, well, here's the thing. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I hate TikTok. I hate that app. I don't like opening that app. I don't like going live on that app. Whenever I'm getting ready to go live, I feel like I'm having PTSD. I feel like I'm getting ready to have an anxiety attack. I felt anxiety before I started doing this live tonight. But if you guys knew how much emotional and verbal abuse that I tolerated on that app for years, then you would understand why I hate the app so much and why I don't want to be on it. I've just decided that I'm going to make YouTube my platform, and even though I'm not going to be as successful right this second on this platform, I still want to try to build my platform here, because, like, you know, it's like being able to make a clapback or a response video to someone who is being rude. You know, if you get on my profile and you start calling me names, then I'm going to, it should be peaceful. Like, that's the point. We should be having a nice, peaceful coffee chat without interruptions, without people coming in and acting like jerks. If I make a clapback video telling somebody, you know, don't call me names, don't call me a dumbass, like there was nothing I said that warranted you calling me slurs. And if I say that and my video gets taken down and then gets reported as harassment and bullying when I am not the person that ever harassed anyone to begin with, it's very frustrating. And that really damages you over time. And I just don't like it. It's a very divisive app. A lot of fighting. And I'm not someone who fights. Before I start my live readings, though, I always say a prayer. So I'm going to say a prayer thanking God and giving God gratitude for all of the gifts that I have. I'm thanking all my ancestors for walking with me and helping me and guiding me in this life. I thank my Orishas. I thank Oshun, who is my mother. I thank the Loa that walk with me in this lifetime and all the spirits of the dead that walk with me. As a seer, as a medium, as a diviner, it's my pleasure to be able to give spiritual guidance to all of you and to be able to answer your questions about spirituality and also to help guide you on your path by doing divination for you to try to find answers to your questions, or more than anything else, give you confirmation about things you already thought. So, Ashe, 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 O. I'm very grateful. I have a lot of gratitude. If you have gratitude, I'll tell you, gratitude is the remedy or the medicine for, what's the word I'm looking for? Resentment. Gratitude is the medicine for resentment. If you're gratitude and if you're gracious, if you give thanks for all of the things that you have, then you're not going to sit around worrying about all the things you don't have or being worried about what everybody else has. Okay? Gratitude with compassion and empathy. Compassion and empathy is not love. And I do not find love to be a virtue. I don't find love to be a virtue. But compassion and empathy and understanding, yeah. All right, I'm sorry, Heather. I'm praying, I'm talking, I'm saying all kinds of stuff, and I'm shuffling up your cards. But what I'm really trying to do right now is I'm trying to get the feel for spirit, get the feel for my spirit to make sure they're showing up for this. I feel like my spirits are here. So readings are $20 for 20 minutes. And also, I want to encourage all of you to consider becoming a part of my mentorship program that I have on Facebook. It's a group. We've all started practicing tarot, reading tarot. Today, I posted new homework assignments in the group, and the homework assignments that I posted today are energy work and Reiki, because we're going to be working on energy and the concept of directing energy. So Thursday night, I'm going to go live in my Facebook group. Yay. All right. It's my Mushroom Hunters. All right. 2 more decks here. About the energy one. About energy work. It's all energy. Everything is energy. Remember that everything you think, everything you say, and everything you do vibrates throughout the entire universe, or at least your universe, which is what's around you. And you're always putting out and taking in energy. And you have to be very careful about with who you allow into your energy field, and also everything you allow into your energy field, because everything is going to affect you. Yeah, Jackie. Okay, Heather, I'm getting ready to start your time. And this reading is for Heather and Heather only. If anything I say resonates with other people, it just means that on a soul level, you are meant to hear it because it'll help you in the future with your life, maybe. But now let's go ahead and see what the Spirit has to say to Heather. I'm asking Heather's spirits to come to me, be with me, and give me the messages that Heather needs to hear. Sometimes you need to hear it out of somebody else's mouth. Okay? Now, you guys know that when I do readings, I don't pull any punches, so what comes out is the honest to God truth. I don't have any reason to make any of this shit up. The other thing I have to say is when I do readings, everybody, these cards mean something very specific. So if you hear me say the same thing to more than one person, it's not because I don't have anything else to say. It's because the cards mean something specific. But they always mean something specific depending on where they fall. Wow, Heather, you got a you have a message. You have multiple messages that are coming through, and they're coming through very clearly. So whenever I use 2 decks of tarot cards and I pull the same card in both decks, that's usually significant to me. That's kind of like a tip-off that this message is very important. Okay. You have spirits of the dead that are around you. You have a grandmotherly spirit and a grandfatherly spirit that stepped forward for you tonight. You have another spirit that stepped forward in your court, but it hasn't manifested itself to me yet. But let's go ahead and talk. Let's talk about the oracle card that I pulled first in the Earthcraft Oracle. This is a beautiful card, number 38. It's called The Shift. So it shows a man here. It looks like they're praying. Yep. The Shift is this card. And as soon as I pull this card, oracle cards are different than tarot cards because tarot cards have very specific meanings. Oracle cards can be interpreted. When I pulled this card, it told me that right now in your life, you're going through a transition. You're going through a shift. You're going through these cards, these big cards, they mean things that are going on in your head, things that are going on spiritually. So the shift you might be going through might be something going on with your family, or it might be something that's happening at work. But your consciousness is going through a shift right now. But it's not going through the shift without turbulence, and it's not going through the shift without having to let go of things, belief systems, and also thoughts and feelings about yourself. You pulled a card for me that represents inner child healing. And at the center of your spread is the Five of Cups. The Five of Cups. And what does the Five of Cups represent? The Five of Cups represents sorrow. It represents sadness, melancholy, and it can also represent like low-key depression or the feeling like the inability to get motivated. Like when you're sad, it might be difficult for you to perform your tasks like you usually do. But the goal here is to work on right now as a spiritual goal to work on is look at grief. Look at what kind of grief that you haven't processed through. What do I mean by that? Whenever something happens to someone, a family member dies, or a divorce happens, or maybe you have to move, or you've been struggling with pregnancy. Mm-hmm. See, so you're going through, your body is going through a major shift. Your consciousness is going through a major shift. You're also holding consciousness and life inside of yourself. So there's a lot of stuff going on in your body, and you know that. There's hormones and there's all kinds of things that are going on in your body that can contribute to making you feel the way you feel. So what the spirit is talking about is dealing with unresolved issues. These could be unresolved issues that come over to you from a previous life, or they can be unresolved issues that come from your childhood. Like how you feel about yourself and how you feel about yourself as a mother, you know? But there's something that I need to interject this right now because the spirit is like talking to me, and one of my spirits is talking to me and telling me, don't forget to tell her this, don't forget to tell her this. So I'm going to tell you right now. Just remember that who you really are, deep down, your spirit, your soul, or whatever it is that generates karma and plays this game of life over and over and over again, what reincarnates from one lifetime to another. That who you really are is indestructible. It's eternal. It was never created. It will never be destroyed. And its nature, at least according to the yogis, is bliss. Your true self is Christ consciousness, okay? The problem with being embodied is that you're going to deal with all of the problems that come along with being in a body. I used to be a non-dualist until I had several spiritual breakdowns that kind of like, at least for me, was evidence that there's a division between body and spirit, or a very fine line between. Don't forget that sometimes we mistake the feelings that our body is going through for who we really are. I've heard yogis talk about this for 2 decades, and I never really got it. So I'm trying to explain it to you. Who you really are is just fine. You're good. What might be getting in the way right now is inherited trauma that comes through in your DNA, in your cells, passed down from one generation to another, because we all have ancestral trauma and it all carries over from one lifetime to another. Okay. And also, did you feel what I was saying about understanding that your physical body is going through a lot of changes, but that doesn't mean who you really are is being damaged in any kind of way. You pulled the hangman, and you pulled the hangman twice. Where is that? You pulled the hangman, and you pulled the hangman twice. The hangman card, to me, means don't be a martyr. Don't be a martyr. Don't sacrifice yourself or your needs or your desires or your goals on the spiritual path or in life for someone else. Don't be a martyr. Don't lay yourself on the sacrificial slab, especially for people that don't give a fuck about you. Especially for people who don't appreciate what you actually add to their life. Does that make sense? So even though the Hanged Man card is about self-sacrifice, it's like Odin hanging off the tree, Yggdrasil, in order to gain the occult knowledge of the runes. If you make a sacrifice like that, because you know that making a sacrifice in your life is going to in some way move your plot line forward karmically. Excuse me, let me spit at you. I didn't mean to spit. I didn't mean to spit at you. If you let's talk about sacrifice for you, because this message is coming home harder than anything else that's coming through. You have a witch that's around you. You have a witch that's a spirit guide that's walking with you, that's very, very close to you. There's two different kinds of sacrifices. There's a sacrifice that we make because we know that by making the sacrifice, we are going to find exquisite benefit in the results, as painful as it is. As painful as the sacrifice is, we are still going to gain something by making that sacrifice. We're going to become better people. We're going to become better parents. We're going to help somebody else who's in need, you see. But sacrifice is not good when it's a chore or when you feel like you're doing for other people, yet nobody is really appreciating what you're doing for them. One is a kind of sacrifice that is for you, and another kind of sacrifice is for someone else. Don't sacrifice yourself on behalf of people that are not worthy. Like Jesus said, don't throw your pearls before swine. Okay? That's all I have to say about that. You pulled the 10 of Cups. And whenever somebody pulls the 10 of Cups, that means that their ancestors your ancestors love you very much and they care about you very much. When I pull the 10 of Coins for myself, it always means that the ancestors are pleased. Always. And the 10 of Coins, what? Oh, I'm sorry. 10 of Cups. 10 of Cups and 10 of Coins both mean satisfaction from the spiritual realm. 10 of Coins means ancestors, and 10 of Cups means ancestors and spirit guides. So ancestors and spirit guides, the spirits of the dead that are around you, like your family members, your elevated family members that are watching over you, love you very much, and they're trying to continue to bring healing waters into your life. You pulled the Ace of Swords. And whenever somebody pulls the Ace of Swords, it's a warning that you need to use your mind, use your brain, use your intellect, be reasonable, be rational, take emotions and put them aside. Emotions are irrelevant to your situation. Absolutely not. No. You need to go ahead and stop thinking any kind of negative thoughts about yourself, because negative thoughts about yourself are just, they're useless. Okay. Especially when you haven't done anything wrong. If you haven't done anything wrong, there's no reason for you to feel bad about yourself. Don't feel bad about yourself. Even if you made mistakes, like really, really big mistakes. And once it's done, you can't feel bad about yourself. You have to move on. because feeling bad about yourself just makes you sit and shit, and it makes you have the inability to move forward. You pulled Calendula as the astrological oracle herbal. And that purity talks about the purity of your spirit, the purity of your mind, the purity of who you are. And so it's very, very important for you to seek purity, but not in the Christian sense, okay? Not like, purity to Christians means like, pristine virginity, or um, uh, being very, very morally rough and strict with yourself, or being overbearing in ritualistic rules and things like that. Purity of spirit means like what it feels like when you go out into nature and you look around and everything is just perfect the way it is. We live in this really beautiful fucking world. The world that we live in, it's a beautiful world. The world doesn't make us upset. People make us upset. And we make ourselves upset dealing with other people. But when you go by yourself out into the woods and you're walking around and you look around and it's quiet and it's peaceful and there's nothing there except you and nature, that's purity. It's that kind of purity that I'm talking about, which means that you also need to get more fresh air. You need to go outside. You need to be in nature, okay? Like I said, you have a witch that walks with you. And this witch that walks with you, she wears all white. Her skin is darker, like almost Mediterranean, or darker than that. Almost like someone who's in Northern Africa, like someone who Albanian or something like that. But she's wearing all white. She's wearing a gown. Her shoulders are exposed. She's wearing white gloves that come up past her elbow, and she's wearing some kind of crown or some kind of tiara. She's a highly elevated spirit in your court. She's got dark skin, but she wears all white. And she wears a tiara that sparkles like a diadem. And this is a very, very highly elevated spirit and a spirit of magic that walks with you. That's what I see, okay? The grandmotherly spirit that I see coming to me is a woman who seems to be plus sized. She had curly, curly, curly hair. She used to love watching television. She loved entertainment. She was someone who liked watching movies and television shows, and she had favorite television shows that she absolutely couldn't miss. I was like, I don't know if it was like daytime soap operas or Falcon Crest or Dallas or something else, but I don't know if there's anyone in your life directly that you're connected to that might fit that particular description. But she seemed like she was a very laid back, easy woman, loving woman, someone who was always down for a good time. Okay. Well, guess what? She's still with you. She is 100% still with you. That's interesting. So you have hereditary witchcraft that runs through your family, which is really, really awesome. That's really beautiful. I'm so happy to meet and talk to so many women today and men who see a lineage of hereditary magic and witchcraft running through their family. I think that's really beautiful. All right. So let me keep going. The grandfatherly spirit that I see. The grandfatherly spirit that I see, he was wearing some kind of helmet. Yeah, that's okay. Whatever spirituality you follow is just fine. Being witchy or having hereditary witchcraft in your family doesn't mean necessarily that you are not part of any particular group. Um, the grandfather spirit that I see, or grandfatherly spirit, or this man that's coming to me, when he was young, he was into football, or he was into hockey, or he was into some other kind of sport that required his head to be covered, or his head was just covered. Like whatever he did for work, or if he did it for play, he had to wear a helmet in order to protect his head. This is a man who also wore a lot of earth tones like brown, tan, charcoal gray. He seems he seems tall, like maybe between the height of like 5'10" and 6 foot. That's pretty much the only visual images and representations that I see on him, other than some kind of ring. He's wearing some kind of ring, and it looks like the ring is like gold or white gold. Regardless, I see this person around you in this particular reading. Even if you don't know who they are, just sit with it. The Six of Pentacles comes for you. And the Six of Pentacles talks about you accepting other people's help. Allow other people to help you. If you need help, accept it. Don't be the kind of person, and this ties into being a martyr with that Hanged Man card, is don't feel like you have to do everything by yourself. Be very verbal with the people that are around you and express to them verbally. Don't just think it in your head. Don't just feel it in your heart. Express verbally to people what it is that you need emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and physically in order to be happy, in order to feel fulfilled. Did you know, everybody, did you know that you have a right to be happy? You have a right to be happy. And you have the right to tell everybody who's around you that you want to be happy, and there's things that make you happy, and there's things that don't make you happy. And anybody who's not on board on helping you become a happier person are people that you do not need in your life. It means you need to walk away from it, or that you need to put space between you and them. It means that your relationship is coming to an end. You pulled the Death card, and the Death card talks about spiritual growth and change over time. So the Death card doesn't mean physical death. It means like spiritual transformation. But transformation that happens over a prolonged period of time, which is not necessarily fun. It can be very, very painful. Okay? And my dear, that's your reading tonight. I hope that was helpful for you in some kind of way. I really enjoyed giving you those messages. It's so interesting how spirits come through for me. I'm always surprised. How some of them come through. All right, so talk to me. Tell me something interesting. Entertain me. Give me feedback, Heather. Like, was there any part of the reading that came through like more, like, did it feel like it hit home more than something else? Hey, Lauren. Yes, it is peaceful on this side of the internet. It is peaceful in here, and I like it. I like low-key, peaceful, quiet, laid back, hang out, chat, have coffee. What's everybody up to tonight? Thank you, Heather. I really appreciate it. Really do. Just remember all those things. When I first started the live, I felt really, really, really awkward because I'm going to post a picture of this on Facebook. What I see as the broadcaster over here. It's when you're live on TikTok, there's all of this stuff happening, all this crap happening. It's like all this stuff is constantly flashing over here, and the chat box is rolling and rolling and rolling, and it's showing you everybody who's scrolling through your live. It's like one person after another, scroll, 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 and then this person entered the room and all of this stuff. You need to get your butt over here to YouTube. Why don't we talk about energy? Why don't we talk about energy, and why don't we talk about Reiki? And why don't we talk about the things I've learned when it comes to doing energy work in Reiki? Show of hands or comments. How many of you have ever gotten a Reiki healing session before, either in person with someone who practiced Reiki or someone who did it for you by distance? Oh yeah, Aaron, I absolutely do. Of course I can do a reading for you, but why can't I comment? Really? I can't post a comment? Oh, I don't know if I like that very much. I can't type in a comment for you. The name of my Cash App is Voodooisant. VODOUISANT. If you want to Cash App me for a reading. VODOUISANT. Voodooisant. I don't know if I'm going to be keeping that username for my Cash App. I think I might change it. Hey, Crystal. Unfortunately, never for what? So if you've ever had a Reiki session in person, what will happen is the practitioner will either lie you face up or they'll lie you face down on a massage table. And they will put their hands together and they will start rubbing their hands together to warm the hands and also to start to generate the flow of prana or chi or ashe, whatever it is you want to call it, that heat, okay? That heat is also the vital life force energy that's sustaining your life. Because when a person dies, if you've ever felt a dead body, if you've gone to a funeral, maybe you've never touched someone's dead body before, but if you've been to a funeral and you go up to someone who has passed away or the body that's left over there, and you put your hand on them, they feel cold to you, but they're actually not cold. They're just room temperature. What you feel when you get up on somebody in their face, like when you're making out, when you're kissing someone, or when you're feeling aroused or horny, or when you're dancing and sweating and your body's rubbing up against other people's because you're either in a mosh pit or you're in a gay bar or whatever the fuck it is that you're doing. You can feel the energy. That heat, that warmth that comes, that's the energy that creates life. And then it's that energy combined with other energies that create the Reiki session. When they put their hands down on you, you're receiving the benefit of that energy that radiates off that person's body. But thank you, Aaron. I'm gonna set my alarm, reset it, and start shuffling your cards. So I would like to talk about Reiki more in a non-critical way, but I have to be critical sometimes. We do a lot of exercises in order to prepare the body to become a Reiki healer. Being a Reiki healer isn't just putting your hands on people. There are techniques to putting your hands on another person and putting your hands on yourself. In the group that I run, my mentorship group, the videos that are in there specifically talk about breathing, meditation, and clearing your space, clearing your energy. And then also to how to lay on your bed, close your eyes, and give yourself your own Reiki healing treatment. We do those in preparation before ever getting like a certification or an attunement or what I would call an empowerment in order to practice Reiki. My Reiki master, Dal, when he first put his hands on me, he almost like got thrown to the other side of the room. The energy coming off of me, whatever it was, which I don't think was positive actually. Yeah, so informal practitioners of Reiki that have not been initiated or received an attunement or an empowerment, everybody has these energies. Everybody has that force. Everybody has their own chi. Everybody has their own prana. Everybody has their own ashe. Do you want to know what your own ashe feels like? Put your hand right in front of your face and go, that, when you do that, that is what your Reiki energy feels like. Okay, that's your heat, that's your prana, that's your chi. But when you do empowerments in Reiki or you get attuned, it's a metaphysical, occult understanding that the person who is getting the attunement is having magic done on them in order to open up their channels open up the channels in the body that is able to hold more light, more energy, more heat. And it's like encouraging a flower to blossom. When you get your Reiki attunement, it's like your spiritual master is over top of you saying, blossom, blossom, blossom. There are special symbols that are drawn on the crown of the head, on the hands, that open up someone's energy channels in order to do Reiki. And a lot of people don't understand or know that Reiki actually was born from a man who was a Tendai Buddhist lay practitioner. He was a monk. He was a Buddhist monk, a lay monk. So the origins of Reiki are in Buddhism, and they're also in Shintoism, which is an animistic religion that's existed for at least the past 14,000 years on the island of Japan. Is it normal to feel pain during Reiki? If you're feeling pain as a practitioner doing Reiki on someone, that's not good. You need to disconnect yourself from the person you're working on if you're feeling any kind of pain on you, because the energy when you're a Reiki practitioner should only be going out. It should not be coming in. When you're doing Reiki on someone, that energy is flowing through you and flushing out that other person's energy body. It's like an oil change for your energy, okay? So if the individual person who's practicing Reiki on another person is having some kind of like negative reaction, it means you need to get the fuck off that person. You don't need to touch them anymore because they need some other kind of work done that you're not going to be able to fix, okay? If you are feeling, hey, Yun. If you are the person who's receiving the Reiki treatment and you're feeling pain, it means that there's something that needs to be healed. It means there's something that needs to be healed in you. Almost like when I go and get a massage, I'm always surprised how sore my calves are because I never feel pain in my calves. I never feel pain in my calves or my ankles or the backs of my legs until I get on that motherfucking massage table and they start working on my calves and my thighs. And then I'm like, damn, that's really painful. That really hurts. I'm really sore. It's the same kind of thing. Does that make sense? It means that there's either blockages in the energy body or that there's a wound in the energy body that needs to be fixed. And just understand something, your energy body is just as real as your physical body. Your energy body is just as real as your physical body, because who you are, this thing that you're looking at right now, this body, comes together like this. And when you die, it's going to go away like that. Okay. All of the forces and energy in the universe and in the physical material world have to come together and construct you. And when your body dies, the body is going to break down and very slowly disintegrate back into everything else where it came from. But the energy of who you are, who you really are, is bigger than your physical body. Matter of fact, your aura probably extends about arm's length away from you. Okay. So my aura, my aura that's around my body is like, within the scope of my realm of what I can sense physically. But your energy body is actually kind of like a duplicate of your body, but extends past your physical body by like an inch. At least that's what I understand. Did I answer your question, Lauren? If I didn't answer your question, you can tell me later. Okay, Aaron. I'm shuffling up your cards. Thank you for the support. All right, Aaron, hold on. Last deck. I know I'm like the king of cards. I use a lot of cards. I use lots of cards because I feel like I need to have multiple perspectives here. Plus, one of my spirits told me that I had to use 2 decks. So I'm just doing what the spirit says. Okay, I'm starting your time, and I'm going to lay down your cards. You have a combination of like positive and negative. You've got good things and you've got not so good things. Some good things, some not so good things. Got a lot of mixed messages. Are you feeling confused? Are you confused right now? Are you experiencing feelings of confusion? Sounds about right. So whatever it is that you're going through right now, if you're going through something challenging, you're going to make it through. I just need to throw that out there from the very jump, from the very, very get-go. You pull the Six of Wands. And you pull the Six of Wands twice. Where are you at? You pull the Six of Wands and you pull the Six of Wands twice. That card always means victory. It always means success. It always means that whatever current struggle it is that you're going through right now, that God, the universe, your spirits, whatever you want to call it, has given you all of the tools necessary in order for you to overcome your obstacles and your challenges. Okay? So that's good. Spirit also talks about you traveling or going on some kind of trip, something that's going to happen within the next month or something that's going to happen within the next 2 months. I'm getting 1 month or 2 months. So pay attention to any opportunities to travel. Yeah, me too. Let's talk about some of the cards that are coming through that aren't necessarily great. You pulled the Two of Swords. And whenever someone pulls a Two of Swords, that tells you, or that's a warning for you to bring your focus back to the center. Balance and harmony. Cultivating and meditating on balance and harmony. Okay? Whenever I pull the Two of Coins for someone, which is the juggler who's juggling 2 coins, Two of Coins means return to balance, come back to balance, that you're not necessarily juggling the material and the spiritual world properly, that you're becoming imbalanced. When you get the Two of Swords, that's a more stern or harsher warning from your spirits that you might have gotten a little out of control. Okay, you might have gotten like really, really, really out of balance. And now is the time for you to bring yourself back to yourself, back to the center of your center of your circle. If you've got a lot of projects going on right now, you might want to consider that you're doing all of these projects, but you're not doing any of them well. So sometimes we have to set some projects aside in order to take care of the most urgent ones or the ones that are going to yield the most results, especially when it comes to making money. Now, interesting point here is I pulled the Seer card. I love this card in the Earthcraft Oracle. This is the Seer. And along with the Seer, I also pulled Foresight in the Herbal Astrology deck. And I'm thinking working as a psychic, working as a medium, or doing readings. Are you doing readings for other people? Are you doing spiritual work for other people? Because whenever I see that, it tells me that you have gifts that need to be utilized. You also pulled the Moon card. And whenever somebody pulls the Moon card, that's always talking about dreams. It's talking about dreams and being able to be lucid in your dreams, lucid dreaming, dream interpretation. Dreams are important to you, or it's important that you pay attention to your dreams right now. It's important that you get a good night's sleep. Do you dream? Have I asked you this question before on another live? Because I would never remember if I did. I'm literally that out of it when I do readings. You need to keep a dream journal. Do you keep a dream journal? Everyone should keep a dream journal. You're a lucid dreamer. Okay. Have we already had this discussion about lucid dreaming techniques before? Or is this the first time? You just started lucid dreaming? Okay. So, if you're a lucid dreamer, okay. if you're a lucid dreamer or you're having these dreams that are, there's 12 people in my room and I've only got 3 thumbs up. If you're in my motherfucking room, hit that like button so that YouTube knows that I'm fucking awesome and everybody needs to come into my room and I need to have like 1 million followers on this app. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for liking my live. Aaron, you need to have like this goal when you go to sleep that you're going to visit other places. Like, let's say when you're getting ready to go to sleep, you should think to yourself, I really want to go to the beach in my dreams. I want to go to the beach in my dreams. I want to go to China in my dreams. I want to go to Japan. I want to go to New York. Like, literally pick geographical locations that you want to travel to where you want to go, and see if when you're getting ready to go, when you get in bed and you close your eyes and you're getting ready to fall asleep, you go ahead and start imagining. I don't know. I think it's a thumbs up somewhere. You don't have to hit thumbs up. I was just being an asshole about it. Have you tried to do that yet? Have you tried to, Aaron, have you tried to project yourself in your dreams to some place, to explore someplace, to go someplace? Okay, guess what? Try to force yourself to dream about somewhere else. Try to go somewhere else. Try to make it a goal to get out of the places that you usually dream in. You know where I go when I dream? I go to malls. I go to shopping malls. Yeah, but asking them to show you what you need to know is really vague. Ask them to give you definite confirmations in your dreams. Okay? Because your spirits can come around and they can influence you while you're sleeping, of course. But you want to try to get more clarity. If you want to get more clarity from them, you need to talk to them and you need to tell them that I need more. You got to be more specific with me if you want me to do this or that. Okay. You pull the star card. I love this card. Whenever someone pulls the star card, it tells me that your guardian spirit, okay, who rules your head, is very, very close to you, is right over top of you. It also tells me that your spiritual court, or the spirits that are around you, are in alignment, and that's a really, really beautiful thing. You have a spirit that walks with you that is a trickster. You have a spirit that walks with you that is a crossroads spirit. Okay. In my tradition, he's called Legba, Elegba, Elegwa. So you have a spirit around you in your spiritual court, whoever that is, however they represent themselves to you, that is a guardian for you. Okay. It's one of your warriors, and it's someone that guides you when you're coming to intersections in life. When you want to interact with that particular crossroads spirit, we usually go to the crossroads in order to interact with that spirit, because obviously physical and spiritual things have correspondences with one another. But you have an interesting spirit in your court that decided to pop out at me. You also have a mademoiselle that's with you in your spiritual court. You have a woman that's coming to me who is wearing a very, very, she almost looks like she's coming from like Victorian time. Not Victorian, Enlightenment. She's got a big motherfucking hoop skirt on. Big hoop skirt with a lot of ruffles. She's wearing a bustier. Her tits are like almost up into her chin. She is wearing this like, it's just kind of like a throw over her shoulders. She's wearing some kind of, her hair is covered. I don't know. At first, I thought she was a nun, but she's not a nun. She's like a mademoiselle. She seems like she's Enlightenment period. The reason why I realized this is because she looks like she has powdered her face white, and she has like one of the black, like, really silly black moles that are attached. She's wearing really, really red lipstick, and she's painted her eyebrows, and her eyebrows are painted very, very, very dark. So this is someone from in your spiritual court who's coming through very bourgeois, very bougie for her time. A woman who liked jewelry and she liked diamonds. She's someone who liked crystal and she liked china, like china plates, dishes. She's very communicative with me and she's trying to show me a lot of things. She keeps going like this. Um, she keeps going like this. She's trying to show me something. She's showing me some kind of dish. She's showing me some kind of food, and it has got pork in it. It's like some kind of stew or like a pork roast. I see like a pig with an apple in its mouth, like, and I see with carrots and potatoes and um, some other kind of like gravy that's around it. She's showing me the image of a meal. And her colors are baby blue and royal blue. I forgot to tell you. Royal blue, baby blue, and pink are her favorite colors. She's also someone that likes champagne. So if you want to, for your mademoiselle, you can put out like some champagne for her if you have a spirit altar or you have an altar that's dedicated to your dead or your spirit guides. She's wearing a crucifix around her neck. Wow. Well, your person over here is definitely gung ho over you. Okay, thank you for that, ma'am. Now I have to keep going on with my reading over here. Hold on. Spirit world is telling you, uh, okay, okay. I don't know what that means. I know what this means though. You pull the Seven of Wands, and the Seven of Wands talks about people coming after you or verbally attacking you or criticizing you. It can also talk about people who, it talks about you having an upper hand in a situation where people are attacking you. It's this one, it's this card. So if there are people in your life who are deliberately trying to pull you into drama or deliberately trying to rope you into getting into problems with them or having problems with them, you need to take a step back and you need to not allow these people to drag your ass into the middle of some kind of confrontation that doesn't have anything to do with you. If it doesn't have anything to do with you, you don't really have an opinion about it. And it's telling you to take the high road. Okay, it's telling you that you're better than the adversaries that are coming after you to create problems for you. Because let me tell you, the people that hate you and the people that are criticizing you and coming after you are always people who are not doing as much as you are. Always. Always. Because if they were worried about themselves and they were taking care of themselves and they were taking care of their spirituality and they were taking care of their own spiritual evolution or their own spiritual growth, or if they were working on elevating their consciousness to be better people or more than what they are, they wouldn't have time to worry about you and what you do. Period. I only come for somebody if they're like directly in my path and I don't have anywhere to go to the right or to the left and I have to tell a bitch a thing. But that's very, very rare that someone comes across my path that I literally have to do a bitch slap to verbally in order to tell them where they're at. You like my mood ring? I love when I was a little boy, I used to love mood rings or the concept of mood rings. When I saw the Macaulay Culkin movie, My Girl, she had the mood ring in it. Oh, I love that mood ring. I had a mood ring when I was like 11 years old, 12 years old, and I used to pretend it was my power ring. I used to pretend that I could, like the Green Lantern, that I could like shoot rays of energy through my ring. I just thought you would like to know that. Sex is also coming up as an important message for you, which is, well, you might need to be having more of it, or you might need to be including sex and eroticism and intimacy as part of your spiritual practice. If sex and eroticism is not already part of your spirituality or part of your spiritual practice. So it's kind of like, have some pizza, watch Netflix, smoke a good joint, and then, go do some spiritual work and pull out the vibrator. Literally, go into trance, go into orgasmic trance. You would be amazed the kind of visual images that come up into your head if you go really, really deep into trance and you really get into your body. You start pulling and dredging up stuff that is karmic that comes over lifetimes. Not even going to lie to you. That might be why your mademoiselle showed up for you. Oh, she's back. Lady, I'm trying to work here. She's showing me her hair now. She's got a wig on. She's got a big ass wig and it's blonde. It's like a blonde wig with curls. It's just rolls and rolls and rolls of golden locks. I don't know if it's hair or if it's a wig. It looks like a wig because it doesn't look like this woman has a natural color on her head. But it's curly and it's big, and she just wanted you to know that she's got blonde hair. That's why she came back. She literally came back because she was like afraid that you wouldn't have a visual picture of her. That is how that is like how I'm sorry, but that's how vain this person is. This person is very, very, very concerned about you having a very strong visual picture of her in your mind when you're communicating with her. Okay? So I hope you remember all of that, and I hope that you wrote it down because she seems like she's definitely showing up to take some kind of control over your life or work you in some kind of way. Whenever your spirit guides come through so strong, or whenever someone's spirit guide comes through so strong, it means that they have a very, 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 very specific part to play in your life. Okay. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What can I tell you in 12 seconds? I think that's it. I think that is literally everything that came through. Plus this lady. You could please ask your mademoiselle to come home to you so that she can pray and say, come over here to be back with me so that we can work together. Um, so that she like leaves me alone because I can't have her showing up in other people's readings trying to talk to me. No, Robin, you can get a reading. So here's the thing about getting readings. Like, check-in readings are great. Check-in readings are just fine. Hey, Bloop Bloop. Well, I take Cash App and I take Venmo. And if you want to Cash App me or Venmo me $20, I do a 20-minute long reading for 20 minutes. That's the deal. Could somebody type in the word Voodooisant, Vodouisant, into the chat? Vodouisant, Voodooisant. That's my Cash App. That's my username on Cash App and Venmo. Little check-ins are just fine. I read myself every day. Thank you, Crystal. I give myself readings every day. Oh, really? Does that come if you type in Philip Ryan? I come up too. Oh, wow. That's good to know. But yeah, Robin, I read myself every day. Some people say, oh, don't read yourself, don't read yourself too much. I've been reading myself every day almost for the past 20 years. Yeah, absolutely. I'll read you. Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. So, Robin, you want me to give you want a reading, Robin? You gave me money already. You sent me money already. I owe you. You know what? I do have a PayPal account now. I don't know if hold on a second, okay? Hold on, guys. I might disappear for 1 second because I just remembered I do have a PayPal account now. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. Can you guys see me? Hey, Aaron, have a great rest of the night. I do have a PayPal. I do have PayPal. But I would have to give you the username. I have to write it down. It's my friend who's allowing me to use his PayPal account. Okay, can you guys see and hear me okay? I can tell you what the username is if you want to PayPal me $20 for your reading. I gotta figure out how to change that. PayPal banned me for life, so I can't have a PayPal account for myself, literally. So it's Grant, GRANTNH like New Hampshire, man, MAN, GRANTNHMAN. See if that works. Bloop bloop. Gotta get my fucking act together. Excuse me. Robin, I'm gonna do you next. Robin, I just made you a moderator. Okay, Bloop. What's your name, Bloop? And are we friends on... I'm also making Lauren a moderator. I just need, like, some more moderators. Oh, can I do Bloop Bloop first? Okay, Yun. I know it's Jan. I just enjoy calling you Jan way too much. Bradley, right? Bloop. Oh, hey, Leah. Okay, I feel better about it. Hey, bloopers, I'm gonna do your reading next, okay? All right. Are we friends on Facebook, or are you just somebody that stumbled into my live? Oops. That's just fine. I know that you're here. That makes me very happy. Makes me very happy to know that you're here. And Lauren, I also got your PayPal. You sent me money too. Crystal, yes. Oh, you saw me on TikTok? Okay, well, whatever you saw on TikTok, just forget that ever happened. We'll just forget that TikTok ever happened, like I was ever on that app. I literally just want to erase it from my memory. I'm just going to pretend the past 3 years didn't exist. Okay? And we're going to start over. Yeah, I know. But when I tell you that I really, I feel like I've met everybody I was supposed to met on TikTok, I mean that. Like, there's a certain feeling that you get inside when you know something has come to an end, when something is over. A relationship, a job, living in a particular geographical region, whatever. Eating a particular kind of food, whatever. You get to a certain place where you're like, yep, I am 100% done. I am ready to walk away from this. I don't have any attachments to this anymore. I'm just going to leave, right? You just know when something is done. Bradley, I'm shuffling up your cards now. You just know when something is done. And I know that my time on TikTok is done. I have nothing more to contribute. I've got nothing more to contribute over there. Have fun. Good luck. TikToxic. I'm hungry. I want to order a fucking pizza. Ready to eat a pizza. Could eat like an entire stuffed crust right now. I would love some sushi too. I got a can of tuna in the other room. That's probably what I'm going to eat. That's as close to sushi as I'm going to get tonight. Excuse me. My God. A mini orgasm. They say that sneezes are like, I don't know, 1/100th of an orgasm or something like that. You've cheated. There is nothing wrong with pizza. Matter of fact, there was some delivery boy in a car the other day. I pulled up beside him down there in, the downtown area, and he was sitting there with a slice of pizza in his hand, and it had like all kinds of vegetables all over it and cheese. It looked like it might have had little bits of sausage on it. Have I ever read you before, Bradley? Have I ever given you a reading before? Okay. Well, I use 2 decks of oracle cards and 2 decks of tarot cards. You already have spirits stepping forward for you, Bradley. There you have a spirit that's coming to me really, really, really rapid. I'm going to go ahead and tell you what he looks like right now. He looks like, who's the actor that plays Wolverine? Hugh Jackman? You have a spirit around you, Bradley, that's coming to me, and he looks like Hugh Jackman a lot in the face, and he's got those big, he's like wearing a top hat, he's wearing a suit. This is a charcoal suit. He's got a cane in his hand, and he looks like he is English, and he looks like he's in kind of like not Renaissance area, but a I know, what the hell is up? You know what the thing is the more quiet is, the easier it is to pick up on spirits. This guy looks like, have you ever seen Johnny Depp in Sweeney Todd? That particular movie, like, I know the movie. Do you remember the movie The Magicians? No, it's not called The Magicians. It's called, what's the name of the movie? It had Hugh Jackman in it, and he played a magician, and I don't remember the name of the movie. This is bothering me now. It's called like The Miracle or something. Hugh Jackman movie. Yes. Yes. The Prestige. That's exactly right. Hugh Jackman, The Prestige. Let me look at a Google image over here. Very similar. Not exactly, but very, very similar kind of clothing that this guy's wearing. He's wearing a white button-up shirt, and he's got a charcoal tie on, and he's got that kind of regalia, that kind of dress on that's in a charcoal suit, and he's got he's holding a cane, and he's wearing a top hat, like some kind of English gentleman. You said, is it Thomas, but I don't know whether or not he didn't give me any kind of name. I have to get something to wipe my nose. Hold on. I gotta grab a here. I have to get a big blue. Okay, Bradley. Here we go. I'm starting your 20 minutes. Let's see what just comes out. Oh. Okay. Well, you got a lot of serious messages coming through here. Don't be afraid. You're a practitioner of the mystic arts, aren't you? Are you a medium or a psychic or a witch? Because there are a lot of occult things going on with you. And there are spirits around you, spirits of the dead that are around you, that are ancestral spirits. And also you have spirit guides that are around you. And some of the spirits that are around you as guides are very specific kinds. You read tarot? Okay. So let's go ahead and start. Let me give you the best message I can possibly give you, okay? You pulled the Ten of Pentacles. And whenever I pull the Ten of Pentacles for someone, it means that their ancestors are very happy with them, that your ancestors love you. Your ancestors love you very much, and they care about you, and they're trying to bring you prosperity. They're trying to bring you wealth. They're trying to bring you stability. That means a stable job, stable income. They're trying to bring you a home, a place to live. And what they're telling me is that you need to travel, that where it is that you're living now is not where you're going to end up living. It's telling me that like you're going to move somewhere. Like you're not home right now, or you don't feel like you're totally at home. Seems like you have a desire to travel, or it seems like you have the desire to move from where you are right now to somewhere else. At least that's what's coming through. So that's not. So here's the thing about you. The thing about you is right now, I'm going to give you the worst card. I gave you the best card. I told you your ancestors love you very much, and you should have an ancestor altar. You should have an altar to honor your ancestors and the spirits of the dead, I stutter, everybody. The dead, spirits of the dead that are around you. You are doing something on a daily basis that's unhealthy for you, and your spirits are worried that over a prolonged period of time, this can create problems for you. So be very, very careful about spending too much time in the sun or eating or drinking a particular kind of food. And pay attention to your health. If you haven't seen a doctor in a long time, or you have health problems that you need to take medication for, don't stop taking your medication, and get a checkup, see your doctor, get blood work done. Because one of the things that you need to pay attention to right now is illness, or getting ill, or recovering from illness. Okay. That came up fairly quickly at the beginning of the reading. So it means that they're concerned about your health. Doesn't mean you're sick. What I just said doesn't mean you're going to die. Doesn't mean that you need to have anxiety or be stressed out about it. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you need to pay attention to your lifestyle. You need to make sure that you're sleeping well, that you're eating well, that you're exercising, okay? And that you're walking around feeling like you have energy and you don't feel depleted and you don't feel like you're, dragging your ass out of bed in the morning, okay? Whatever that means. The reason why that came through also is because you pulled the medicine wheel. You pulled the medicine wheel. And the medicine wheel is the card of the healer, okay? For me, in the herbal tarot. It's the card of the healer. It's the medicine man. The medicine wheel, which is for me, like all of these cards mean something to me. They have very specific meanings, even if that's not the meaning of the wheel card in regular tarot. All of these cards have their own associations, and they're based on the relationship I have with my spirits. Okay. The medicine wheel card says that you have an ability as a natural healer. What are the kinds of things that you should be focused on? You pull the Three of Pentacles. The Three of Pentacles specifically talks about study, and it talks about learning and research and gaining a new skill, okay? It's the ability to have a skill. Herbalism, natural medicine, acupuncture, massage therapy, Reiki, working with essential oils, working with crystals, moving to a more holistic way of life, getting clutter out of your life and bringing in more natural healing remedies, and learning these things, studying these things. that could actually be a path for you as a job or a career is what's coming through for me. Um, Especially plants or working with plants or healing plants. It can also mean, although I'm not encouraging drug use, that you might or might not use substances as part of your practice. I'm talking about working with cannabis or magic mushrooms or some other kind of substance that will put you into trance, okay? You pulled the Destiny card. You pulled Echinacea in the herbal astrology tarot. It's called the Destiny card. You need to be paying attention to your destiny. Matter of fact, when that card comes up, it means that if you don't know what your destiny is, or you haven't decided what your destiny is, you should probably do something to help you understand what your destiny is. I'm a Vedic astrologer. I do birth charts. I'm not trying to upsell myself from this $20 reading so that you give me more money, because you could do this yourself if you had the time and you were interested enough. But getting a Vedic astrology birth chart reading would be very, very helpful for you, because it would allow you to see in the stars the positive and the negative components to your personality. And it might even tell you, well, it will tell you, like, what your overarching life goal would be. And I do those. So if you ever want your birth chart read, you can follow my links and buy a birth chart from me. But you need to, like, think about your destiny. Like, what is your end game? What do you want to do with yourself? What are you trying to do? Where do you think you're going to end up? What do you want? What is the contract that you made with God before you came to the earth? That's the idea. Okay. See, like I told you, like, really big fucking messages coming through for you, like, not small messages. And probably it's because it's the first time I've read you, and all of your spirits are like coming at me at one time, trying to give you messages that you've been needing to hear for a long time. Spirit says that you are an empath, that you have empathic abilities. You pull the Lover's card. And whenever I pull the Lover's card for someone, it means that this person has the abilities to be empathetic, the ability to show compassion, and the ability to pick up psychically what other people are feeling and experiencing. Do you feel like what I just said has any truth to it? Do you feel like an empath, or is that one of the reasons why you got into tarot? Do you feel like you have any psychic abilities at all? Yeah? Well, let me go ahead and give you my little speech, my friend, for people who are empaths. You need to be very, 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 very guarded and cautious about where you put your energy and what energies you allow to be around you, okay? Because empathic people pick up everything. Then you are just like me, because I can't force my psychic abilities to turn on and turn off. Usually, when I sit down to do readings, they turn on. When I end my session with you and with everybody tonight, I will not walk away having all these kinds of mystical messages, okay? These are things that just kick in when I'm actually doing readings, okay? But you need to be very careful about the people that you have around you. You also need to be very, very careful about your boundaries, like the boundaries that you set with other people, that when you make a boundary with other people, they don't overstep that. Like, what is an example? If you tell your friends, don't call or text me after 11 o'clock at night, text me after 8 a.m., but before 11 p.m. at night. I'm just giving you like an example. And you say, I only want to be contacted at these times. But you've got that friend or some other friend that completely disregards your thoughts, your feelings, your boundaries, your perimeters, and they want to push that shit anyway. That's the kind of person that you have to get out of your life. That's a psychic vampire. And remember this, Bradley. If someone's doing something to you that you don't like, it could be your girlfriend or your boyfriend or whoever it is you're fucking, I don't care, or a family member, your mama, your daddy, or anybody. If you remember this about people, if you set up a new boundary with someone that needs a boundary put into place, and that person gets offended at you because you put up a boundary or because you needed to tell them that something they were doing was bothering you, it was hurting you, and that person gets offended about it and can't have a conversation about it, doesn't have the ability to reflect or try to understand where you're coming from, that is a toxic person. That is not somebody that you need to have in your life. Because that means that your boundaries don't matter. The only thing that matters is the supply of energy that they get off of interacting with you. Okay? So just remember that. Empaths we attract that. We literally attract predators to ourselves. There's something about people who are empaths that literally attract certain types of people to them, especially ones that want to take advantage of you. That's a really big message coming through to you tonight in your reading. The other huge message that's coming through is you pull the Tower card. And whenever I pull the Tower card, yeah, you do. You do. If you're a psychic or a medium, or you have any spiritual gifts, or you're an empath, or you're meant to be a healer, like I said, you have natural healing talents that you should specialize in, you will attract all the crazy people, all of them. Not some of them, all of them. It's because there is something on a non-physical way, energetically, about you that says, I'm a healer. Come hang out with me. You'll just feel better if you hang out with me. That is not something you put out into the world. That's not something you say. It's not an action you take. It's not a way you carry yourself. Who you really are, the energy that animates your body, that's your spirit, okay? Spirits that are hurt or need healing or need help in people, and spirits of the dead, whether they got a body or they don't have a body, are going to be attracted to you because you give off the energy of a healer. You give off the energy of someone who is helpful to other people. All right? The Tower card says that you need to just know that very, very soon you're going to be having a spiritual breakthrough. I'm not going to say a spiritual breakdown. I'm going to say a spiritual breakthrough. And I think what the Spirit is saying, anywhere between the next 3 to 6 months. The Tower card really represents spiritual awakening or spiritual enlightenment. And you don't just get one spiritual awakening. It's not like a one and done kind of thing. And it's the same thing with enlightenment. You don't just become enlightened and then suddenly you're enlightened and that's it. There's a progressive stages of enlightenment. There's progressive stages of apotheosis, progressive stages that we go through in our spiritual awakening process, kind of like layers of an onion, okay? And you pulled the Tower card. And this particular Tower card is saying that you're due to have some kind of spiritual awakening that's going to move you forward. You have you also pulled the card Darkness. You pulled this card over here, which is a card called Darkness. The Dark. Very, very pretty card. I love this deck. It's my favorite deck for art. You need to not be afraid of your shadow, and you need to not be afraid of your shadow side, and you don't need to be afraid of anything, okay? Listen to what I say. Listen to what I mean by that. What I'm saying is that you can't really say that you're a spiritual person if you don't understand the absolute worst aspects of your personality. You can't understand. You'll never really reach apotheosis unless you're able to see all of you. And seeing all of you means seeing the aspects of yourself that are not attractive, that are ugly, that are dark, can be sinister, can be violent, can be just bad. Just all of the unconscious garbage floating around in there that's not good. There's no reason to feel shame at all about shadows, okay? Your shadow, you can't feel ashamed of your shadow because it is there. It's not going anywhere, whether you like it or not. And you can kind of use that as a metaphor to realize that the shadow aspects of your personality are always there. And the beautiful thing about it is, you can't get rid of them, you can't eradicate them, but you can make peace with them and you can learn to coexist with those dark aspects of yourself and still be able to be compassionate, still be able to be empathetic, still be able to be helpful to other people, still be non-threatening towards other people, and not harm other people. You might have tendencies or feelings inside of you that are really, really harmful to yourself and damaging to other people. I'm not going to lie. For us to walk around on the street and pretend that we don't have those destructive forces and energies inside of us is a lie. You're living a big motherfucking lie if you're walking around, walking down the street, only seeing yourself in the mirror doing all of these good things while not examining the motives that you have for doing the things that you do, or for not examining the parts of your personality that keep pulling you down or throwing you back into repetitive and habitual behavior, such as alcoholism and drug use and drug addiction and things like that. Recognizing your shadow is very important, but you don't need to be ashamed of it, okay? And you don't have to tell anybody about it either. There are some things about myself I absolutely will never share with another human being. Absolutely not. There are parts to my personality nobody ever needs to know. There are aspects to me that nobody ever needs to know about, okay? They're mine. They're my problem. Just like your problems are your problems. They're not somebody else's problems. So please, everybody keep your problems on your side of the street and take the time this is what I want you to do. I want you to sit down with a piece of paper and I want you to take a pen and I want you to draw a line down that piece of paper. And on one side, I want you to write all of the things I love about myself. And if you don't love yourself, say all of the things I like about myself. And if you don't like yourself, then write down, the parts of my personality that aren't awful. And then on the other side of the piece of paper, write down the things that make me things that I'm not happy with about myself. I'm not happy about these things with myself. Whatever. The negative aspects of my personality, the positive aspects and the negative aspects of my personality and who I am. And just start writing it down on a piece of paper, not in your computer and not on your phone. We need to go back to maintaining our journals, handwritten, where we can actually take those books and put them in a safe and keep them safe because information is not safe. Anything that's shared digitally is not safe. Just remember that. But sit down, Bradley, and write down these pros and cons about yourself, your shadow, and who you are. And then learn to reflect on them objectively and not judge yourself, okay? Because judging yourself is not helpful for you becoming a better person or becoming enlightened or whatever it is that you want to become, okay? That's all the time I have for you. God, boy, you totally. Are you a girl or a boy? I don't know. It doesn't matter if you're a boy or a girl, really. Or a they, them, or a z, zai, zazam, whatever. But you sure got a lot. You're a boy. I thought you were. I felt that energy. I hope you wrote all that shit down or screen recorded it because that was a lot of information. I'd be really mad if you forgot all the shit that I just said over the past 20 minutes because I packed as many messages in there as I possibly could. I want to talk more about that shadow stuff, though. I need to make more new YouTube videos. I made a great comment. No, you're welcome. Absolutely. I made a great status today on Facebook uh, because I'm in a group and I made a comment on a post and somebody was like offended, you know, and so that catty, bitchy behavior started coming out on Facebook, which is so old to me. God, that kind of behavior is so old. So unattractive. And what my Facebook status after was, I have found that the people who are the most easily offended are people that have everything to lose by questioning their own beliefs. And that is complete, yeah, on Facebook, but this was in a group, this was in somebody else's group, a group that I was invited to join. But the thing is that the people who are easily offended are usually people who have a lot of emotional and mental hang-ups about whatever it is that you're talking about. So it's like if it's like if a Christian person came into my room and wanted to tell me to like repent and, get saved, get baptized, come back to Jesus and everything like that. And I questioned that person and I said, well, I have legitimate reasons for not being a Christian. I have legitimate reasons for not being a Christian. And I will sit here and I'll discuss those things with you. But if everything I say offends them in some kind of way, it's just their ego getting bruised. Not even because I'm right or I'm wrong, the concept of being challenged that you're wrong. If someone is literally offended because you challenge their concepts as potentially being false, then you're dealing with someone who's got a really long way to go emotionally and spiritually before being ready to have a real spiritual conversation or dialogue. Because the people that I run with that I like are people that I can disagree with on TikTok, on Facebook, or face to face. And those people and I will talk about these things. And at the end of the day, we have the ability to agree to disagree because I don't have to believe everything that you believe. And you don't have to believe everything that I believe. Because at the end of the day, my opinion doesn't fucking matter. And my feelings about it, they don't fucking matter either. When it comes to the way you are worshiping God or practicing your religion or whatever, that's none of my fucking business. If you want to do all that fuck shit over there, it's fine. Go do that. That's all about you. It has nothing to do with me. You see what I'm saying? So, if you say something to somebody about their religious beliefs and all of a sudden they're just like upset, how dare you question my faith? Okay. I don't have time to talk to flat earthers. The guy that lived above me was a flat earther. He died in the apartment. He was like in there for a couple of days and people didn't know that he was dead until the police came looking for him. The guy died. My friend Chris, my friend Chris, who passed away also, who died in the motorcycle accident. The guy above us died like 2 months before, and he was like just up there. And when the police actually got in, opened the door and went in, there was alcohol bottles everywhere. There was liquor bottles everywhere, wall to wall liquor bottles, bottles and bottles and bottles of liquor everywhere, empty bottles, vodka, gin. The guy, he must have drank himself to death, but he believed the world was flat. And here I am. He would be like, I would like be leaving to go to work or something. And he would like come out on the patio and be like, remember, they're lying to you. And I'd be like, okay. It's all a lie. Okay. All right. Yeah, you're right. I mean, I'm not, yeah, he had a pickled brain. Yeah. So now I've got Robin and Lauren both paid me to do a reading. So I'm going to read Robin next, and then I'm going to read Lauren. Is that okay? Yeah. Well, anybody who is dealing with, it's really humid outside here too. It really is. Nasty. And I've got no air conditioning in my motherfucking car because I haven't been able to afford to fix my air conditioning in my car. It's like over $1,000. I busted the compressor. I hit something. Compressor is busted. Doesn't fall under the warranty. I've got to pay over $1,000. It's like a $1,200 motherfucking bill to like change, like to replace a compressor. And I'm mad about it. Fortunately, my car is already paid off. Oh my God, Lauren, you need to like go buy a fan. Oh, Gabby, it's terrible. I'm shuffling up your cards, Robin. See, the reason why I like living in New England is because there are actual seasons here. We actually still do get 4 seasons. Right now, we're getting ready to approach July. We have gotten past my critical part of the year. So this is what's interesting about my mental and behavioral health problems and my whatever's wrong with me. I don't do well emotionally and mentally in the springtime. So starting in like March through April and May and June, springtime. I know February is, I do very, very poorly with my mental and behavioral health in the springtime. I don't know why. Summertime, things start to cool off, okay? And then as soon as fall hits, like as soon as it turns September, October, November, December, then those are my favorite time of the year is the fall and the winter. I don't like being cold outside, but I love being inside a warm home. I just gotta hit this button here. I don't know what that means. Hold on. Can you guys still see me? Can you still hear me? I'm still getting used to this broadcasting on YouTube. Okay. I think I've shuffled your cards enough, Robin. I think that they're shuffled enough. Now let's shuffle these. It is. And you know what? October and November are my favorite times of year. And I love Halloween. I really, really do. It's really, really weird that so I was born and raised a Jehovah's Witness. I don't know if you guys know who those people are. They're the people that show up at your door on Saturday morning trying to read Bible scriptures to you when you're trying to watch cartoons. They're trying to like give you copies of the Watchtower magazine so that you can go to their church and join their cult. That's how I was raised, right? Hey, Grant. That's Grant, everybody. That's Grant's PayPal account that I'm using right now. Grant, guess what? I used your PayPal account tonight for the first time. People paid me money on PayPal. We just got to figure out how to change the username so I can use my username. But the whole thing about being a witness is anything that has to do with the occult is evil. Oh, it's bad. It's evil. It's bad. Tarot cards, astrology, crystals, yoga, voodoo. Oh, it's all evil. It's all bad. It's all horrible. You know, all of the people that practice these things, they belong to burn in the lake of fire forever, eternally. Like it's the worst. And I've always questioned that philosophy or that viewpoint. And I have literally put myself in the most occult circumstances. Not dangerous occult circumstances, but I have literally gone through very deep mystical occult experiences in my lifetime. I'm fine and there's nothing wrong with me and I'm still here. And I don't feel like anything I did was wrong. Matter of fact, everything I've done in my life has greatly benefited me. I've been a spiritual adventurer in this life. Of course he has a demon. He has a daimon. He has a holy guardian angel, or he has a spirit that walks with him, a very special spirit that gives him his spiritual gifts. I'm all about spiritism. I'm all about spiritualism. And that motherfucking religion sucks. And I'm not trying to talk shit about people, okay? But Christianity sucks also in a different way. But what I was going to say is my parents were afraid of everything and they trained me to be afraid of everything. Do you know how much motherfucking spiritual work I had to do on myself in order to overcome fear, spiritual trauma, and religious fear? How much fear I had to overcome? I remember the first time. I'm sorry, Robin. I'm going to read you. I just have to say this. I have a few things to say about that. I had so much religious trauma and I was so afraid of my own shadow that the first time I went to a yoga class at a yoga studio and they laid us down on our backs and they told us to meditate for 5 minutes and they like played like Om chanting in the background, I remember that my fists were clenched and I remember that my jaw was locked. And my jaw was locked and my teeth were clenched. I was laying there. I was holding on to so much stress and I was holding on to all kinds of fear because I was desperately afraid that something absolutely horrible was going to happen to me by being in that class and by laying on the ground like that. That's crazy. Now, it's true that if you're a medium or you're a psychic or you work in the occult or you have anything to do with this world, you're gonna get the piss and shit scared out of you. You are going to have existential crises, okay? You're going to come to the boundaries of what you can conceive of the world to be, how it operates, how your mind interfaces with this reality, this interface that we're dealing with. You will come to the limits of that. And you'll freak out. I find it to be exhilarating, okay? Well, I find it to be exhilarating now. I didn't before. But when I was, I'm going to tell, I tell this story before, I'm going to tell it again because the story is that good, okay? About my dad, who was a witness, okay, and an elder, a leader in the congregation, who was very well respected, and he's like, a saint and everything. He's considered a saint in the tradition. My grandmother and I were walking around in Sears Roebuck when I was a little boy. I was like, I don't know, I think I was like 8 or 9 years old. I was young. I was not older than 10, I believe. And we went over to the jewelry side of Sears, and I was looking in there, and they had like crystals, just regular pendant, like just dangling plain quartz crystals and rose quartz crystals. Yeah, a saint. Amethyst. And I saw this pink rose quartz crystal, which I still have right here. And I said to my grandmother, I said, "Oh, I really like that. I really want that." And my grandmother bought me the pink crystal. Yeah, my nan. Yeah, Mary. She bought me this pink crystal, and she also bought me a little silver cord to wear it on, and she sent me home. And when I got home, my dad saw this pink quartz crystal around my neck, and he said, "Where did you get that?" And I said, "Nan bought that for me." And he got so mad. He was like, "Take that off. You can't wear that. That's going to invite demons into our house." And I was like freaked out. I was like, "Oh my God, I'm going to let demons in the house?" And so my mom took it off of me, and he was like, "You have to give it back to your grandmother, and you have to tell her to take it back. You can't have that in my house." A rock, a pink rock, a little pink rock, a little pink crystal was going to let evil into our house. That shit like that was where I started having breaks of consciousness when it came to that religion. So what happened was, I went back to my grandmother's house, and I said, I was crying. I was like, "Dad said I can't have it because the demons will come in the house." My grandmother got so pissed. She was livid, livid. She called my father up and she tore him a new one. She tore him a new asshole. And she was like, "How dare you?" She was like, her ego was offended that my dad would think that my grandmother, who was this spiritual giant, would do something that was against the tradition or do something that was against God or whatever, right? So she was like, "How dare you accuse me of buying something that's going to harm me or this family or anything? That's a rock." My nan said, "That's a rock. It's a crystal, but it's a rock. God made that rock. That's part of God's creation. It has absolutely nothing to do with the occult. What's wrong with you?" So my dad reneged, and my dad allowed me to keep the pink crystal. I still have it. I have it over there. It's the oldest piece of jewelry that I have that I treasure with my soul. Okay. So I mean, I fucking had that thing like, forever. And I just thought it was really, really interesting. Over 30 years. I thought it was really interesting that my dad felt so militantly in Christ against a fucking rock. I can't with those people. So I figured, if there's nothing wrong with a pink, crystal, let me go ahead and test that theory and do other things and see whether or not I die. And so far, I haven't died. Okay. Doesn't mean they didn't try to, but I haven't. All right, here we go, Robin. I'm laying down your cards now. I know, I just ran my mouth, went on a rampage. Oh, I love this card. It really pissed me off, though. The more I think about it as I get older, the more pissed I get. I gotta watch my anger. I just get angrier and angrier. Robin, you know that I won't remember anything I told you in the last reading. So anything that comes out again that I might have told you in a previous reading, I have no idea what it is, because like I told you people, as soon as I close the app, I forget everything I do. I don't have enough space in this old hard drive to be able to remember all the shit that I tell you guys in my lives. You got some really beautiful cards though. Oh wow. Okay. Give me a second. Yeah. There's a lot of stuff going on here. So are you paying attention to your health? Was health-related concerns something that I had talked about in a previous live with you? Seeing a doctor, or like taking care of yourself better, or getting medical attention? Because if I did, that particular card is coming up again, that you need to pay attention to how you feel, your health. Your health is very, very important, and your spirits are concerned about your health. So, okay, same card. 10 of Swords. The 10 of Swords is the only card that I pull that represents physical, not being physically well. It's a real fucking ominous card. I mean, that you couldn't get more stark of a message than that. 10 of Swords always represents something physical going on. You're probably deficient in something, either vitamin B12 or vitamin D or iron or something. If you're exhausted and tired all the time, it means that, they need to do blood work, and you need to tell them that. You can be like, I literally feel like I can't do anything all of the time. Tell them that you want test run, say, I want you to check my blood and make sure that I'm not like anemic or something. So that's very, very important. Okay, moving on. You have an appointment in July. That's great. 6 of Cups talks about someone that you used to know, or someone from your childhood, or someone you haven't seen for a very long time is about to make a re-entrance into your life. They're about to come into your life, if they haven't already. I don't know why one of my spirits is telling me fruit. Fruit. Tell her to eat fruit. I'm talking about like melon and strawberries and blueberries and watermelon and oranges and pears. These are the fruits that are coming to me, that you need to like eat grapes. They're talking about your gut health. They're talking about the bacteria and stuff that's in your gut. They're telling me to tell you to eat more fruit. I mean, be careful with your fruit consumption because it has a lot of sugar in it. But if you sit down and peel yourself an orange, or slice yourself up a pear, or or sit and suck on a peach or a mango, that's just fine. Don't like eat candy that tastes like fruit, or drink Kool-Aid or things that have sugar in it that taste like fruit. Actually eat real fruit with the pulp and everything, okay? Send me a message on Facebook, Robin, because I have a lot of suggestions about gut health, okay? You also need to be eating more butter. Eat more saturated fat. Like literally put butter on everything you eat right now for like a couple of weeks. Because saturated fat helps stimulate the digestive process, okay? And you can't get fat by eating saturated fat, like butter or avocados or coconuts. So just remember that. Macadamia nuts have a lot of saturated fat in them are very good for you. Okay, so we'll take care of you. Spirit is telling you that you need to be more vocal and that you need to stand up for yourself and you need to tell everybody else how you feel and that you shouldn't be ashamed of yourself or be afraid to tell other people how you feel. Your feelings are your feelings and your feelings are completely valid. Okay? So, what the Spirit is telling me to tell you is don't allow other people to invalidate your feelings or invalidate your thoughts on matters. Because even though your opinions and your feelings about something don't really matter, doesn't change the fact that in relationships that are important, like with your husband or with your wife or with your boss, like primarily the people that are the most important to you, that those people respect what you have to say and that you need to be firm in your conviction about whatever it is. You might be wrong about it, but you know what? If you're wrong, be humble enough to be able to admit that you were wrong if you were wrong. But if you have a very strong feeling about something in any particular way, you need to stand up for yourself. Don't be afraid to speak up for yourself. It's like when you hear people in a room saying negative things about other people because of their weight, because of the way they look, or because of their disability, or because of their sexual orientation, or because of some other situation, their color, okay, their ethnicity. When you stand there and you hear people saying negative things about other people that are unwarranted, that's when I'm talking about the courage to stand up and say, you know, shame on you. You shouldn't say things like that because that's really wrong. Like you shouldn't talk about other people like that. You know, like everybody has had that feeling. It's like a burning feeling in your gut where you feel like you absolutely have to project, that you absolutely have to say something, that you can't stay quiet because staying quiet means that you are basically participating in and you're a part of that. You need to remember that. It's the same feeling, but whatever it is that you feel passionately about, the Spirit says that you need to say it and don't hold yourself back. Yeah. Okay. I keep seeing this card, but I'm trying to understand what it means. You have a female spirit that's very, very close to you. This spirit that's coming to me, she comes to me as an African woman. And I don't know if I've ever told you this before, but there's a female spirit that I see that's coming around and dark skin and long hair. She's kind of got like a fro. She's got like her hair is down. It's not braided. It's not pulled back or anything. And it's very, 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 she's froing out a little bit. And she's wearing an apron. And the apron color that she's wearing tends to be, I guess you could say it's like a tomato red. I also see her. Hmm, hold on, I'm having issues over here. There's something that she's doing. She has potatoes in her hand. She's got potatoes in her hand. She's got a basket, and inside the basket there's like potatoes. She's chopping the potatoes and she's cooking potatoes. I think she's trying to tell you to eat potatoes or eat potatoes or root vegetables, and like not eat something else. I would tell you don't eat any wheat, but what she's showing me that she's got three potatoes and she's sliced them like that into medallions and she's put olive oil all over them. She's also put rosemary on them and thyme and she's put garlic on them, and she's putting like salt, grainy salt on them, and pepper, and she's roasting potatoes. She's baking potatoes. You air fry them? I don't know anything about air frying, but is that what you do? Do you chop potatoes and you put them in the air fryer? Next time you do the potatoes in the air fryer, um, and you take them out, put butter all over them. Okay, so make sure they're nice and buttery, not margarine. Okay, not country crock. I'm talking about real butter. Everybody needs to be eating real butter, not something else. So get the real butter and smother real butter all over them, and then put like rosemary, thyme, garlic powder, salt, pepper. Wow. Geez, thanks, Lauren. Yeah, see, witch in kitchen is a kitchen witch. Witch in kitchen is a kitchen witch. That's interesting that you say that. Yeah. So potatoes are important to you, and that's what this particular person is. That's what this particular message is coming through. Okay, not getting anything else. That's interesting. Uh, you pulled the star card. The star card says that your guardian angel or your guardian spirit, whoever that is, whoever is very, very close to you, rules your head. That's ruling your head is very, very connected to you. And that the other spirits that are around you and the spirits of the dead that are in your spiritual court are in alignment, and that's a very good thing. You pulled the card in the Earthcraft Tarot, you pulled Spiritual Journey. You pulled the Spiritual Journey card, which is a beautiful card full of purples and blues. They've got their hand over their heart, just like this in the picture, and they're sitting with their legs cross-legged, and it looks like they would be like doing an exercise I would do where I close my eyes and I breathe out and I feel my own heart beating. That would be a very good exercise for you to do. But the spiritual journey, something that's interesting about this particular card is it looks like there's a moon behind the person's head. It looks like there's a moon behind the head. But then also, if you look at the center of the card, there's also this spiral, okay? The interesting thing about this whole spiral that comes up in this spiritual journey card is you also have gnomes that are around you. You have nature spirits that are around you. I want you to send me some of those potatoes because I'm starving to death. And I'm going to go make the same recipe, actually. But you have gnomes, you have earth spirits around you that roam around outside your house and maybe even come into your house when you open the windows or you open your doors. So you got to be careful for those. Usually, most earth spirits like that are real low key. Yeah, like little black streaks. That's exactly right. They almost look like shadows and they're always very, very close to the ground. Does that make sense? I mean, when you think about it, technically it makes sense because that would be the description, right? They're almost like a cat that darts by, but there's no cat there. It's that same kind of feeling. Whenever you feel something like around your legs, around your ankles or your feet, or you feel something fly by behind you, like around your calves, anything that's lower than your ass or shorter than your ass, that's those spirits. That's those spirits. Those are the gnomes. Those are the people that live in your house with you, okay? Or that come in and go out with you. So those are very important spirits to you. Thanks, Lauren. You pull the Chariot, and the Chariot card is a beautiful card. The Chariot card is about balance and harmony. It really talks about balance and harmony, and it's about the spirit either propelling you forward on your journey or dragging you. It's either about being propelled or shot in a certain direction or being grabbed and pulled in a different direction. It says that your spiritual team and your spiritual court and God force energy, whatever that is to you, or the universe or whatever, is pulling you or propelling you forward on your path. You're hurling through space with a direct trajectory with your destiny. You're going to come into a head-to-head. You're going to come into a direct intersection with your life and with your destiny, and that's really, really great. That's beautiful. You feel like you were dragged. That's how I feel. I feel the exact same way. Hold on, let me organize myself over here. Spirit is talking about your job or talking about your work or feeling like overtaxed or feeling like burdens on your shoulders. Hold on, I'm trying to. But you also pull the Six of Wands, which talks about victory and overcoming life's challenges. You pull the Three of Cups, which is the card for spiritualism or spiritism, which, in case you probably don't know, but I might have told you in the past, that spiritism and spiritualism is an important part of your path. Working with the dead, talking to spirits of the dead, saying prayers on behalf of the spirits of the dead, doing ancestor work and ancestor veneration. Spirit is also talking about strength, talking about that you have all of the strength that you need to succeed. You're a very strong person, and that's a really great card. Don't be a martyr. Don't sacrifice yourself or your needs on behalf of somebody else. Pay attention to the messages your spirits are bringing you right now, because you pulled the Four of Cups. And whenever I get the Four of Cups, it's talking about that the universe is about to extend an opportunity to you. You don't want to miss it. Pay attention to the opportunities that are coming in your direction right now, because you're being invited, or you're being called, or you've got a hand that's reaching out to try to grab you, to pull you in a particular direction. And you could miss the opportunity to change the entire course of your life if you don't follow your gut instinct when you see that message being given to you. I'll tell you like an example of that later for me. You're going down this path, but there's going to be something that's going to spark your attention in your ear or in your eye, okay, or some kind of thought, and you have to go with it. You have to follow it, but you need to be very, very not hyper vigilant, but you need to be very present. There's a difference between being present in the moment and being able to remain present all the time, and being hyper vigilant and anxiety ridden and not able to function. Okay. I'm talking about you need to just be present for everything, you know. Uh, Observant. Being present means being more observant to me. Like whenever we're talking about meditations and being fully present, something that helps me to be fully present when I'm doing meditation is just like really, really, really paying attention to everything around me, like looking at everything and trying to pay attention to the absolute details of what it is that I'm looking at. Or what am I hearing? What am I listening? Sometimes I put on my blackout iPads, you know, that you wear when you sleep. I got those, but I got them for meditation so that I could completely stop everything, you know, obscure my vision so that I paid attention to the way my skin felt, the way what I was hearing, the noises that are around me. So being fully present is like being very observant about everything that's around you, okay? I want you to be more observant so that you don't miss any opportunities that are going to improve the quality of your life. Um, there's also a spirit around you, and you have a grandmother and grandfather spirit around you too. I don't have time to talk about them, and they're not coming through for me. But you have a spirit around you that's a female spirit. She's a very elevated spirit in your court, and she's very Venusian. She's very, very, very feminine. Her favorite colors are pink and gold and yellow. Her colors are pink and yellows and golds, and she represents the planet Venus. She's like the spirit of Venus. She has Venusian energies, which are very, very feminine, um, very sensuous, very sexual, very erotic, but at the same time mature, like a mother, or like a very sensual and erotic woman who has already given birth. It's very complicated for me to explain my feelings about this card. Um, I guess you could say a woman who is still naturally attractive and very sensuous and sexual and vibrant, but also someone who is already a mother and someone who has already experienced the best and the worst of life. So she's got really beautiful, attractive properties, but they're not just like a young, flirtatious, girly girl. It's like this is a mature woman, like a mother. Okay. And that's everything that I have for you tonight. Oh, yeah, you got that, mademoiselle. I don't know. Where is my mind? Where is my mind? Where is my mind? I don't know. I'm still trying to figure that out. Okay. So, all right, Lauren, I'm going to read you now. I'm going to read you now. You're more than welcome. Pixies. Ouch. Hold on. I'm going to read you to filth. I'm going to read you to filth. I'm going to make you cry in your reading. Everybody, Lauren over here, Witch in Kitchen, the Kitchen Witch, she read me the other night because she's one of my mentees. She did a reading on me, and you were very polite. You were very nice about it. You seem to be so cautious with your words. You know, you were trying to get the message across, and you were very clear. Your message was very, very clear. But it seemed like you were trying to lay those words down so delicately on me. Wasn't she, Leah? No. That I actually was on like the edge of my seat while you were reading me because I was like, it's just the way you were dropping the bombs on me was like really, really, really light. So you did a really, really, really good job reading me. But let me tell you something, Lauren. That's also one of the most beautiful, attractive things about you. One of the most beautiful parts of you that shine when you go live or when you're doing readings or even just when you're making commentary in somebody's TikTok live is that it seems like when you only speak when you have something important to say. So you are quiet a lot, but it's when you actually speak, I pay attention because I know that whatever it is that's going to come out of your mouth is probably going to be very profound. It's going to have meaning to it. Okay. That's a really beautiful quality about you. Another quality about you is when you speak like you're speaking very deliberately and that you're trying to explain things in a way that people will understand and accept. Those are really, really beautiful qualities that you have as a person. Which makes you extremely attractive to people who are older, and for people who value sensitivity. Yes, and you can tell that when you speak, you're speaking as if you've been sitting and observing a situation for a long time, and that's really great. Don't ever change. Don't ever think you have to be anything else. You're going to be my last reading of the night. I don't want to burn myself out going live, going for too long, because if I do, yeah, she is Crystal, isn't she? Yeah, I'm going to read you to filth. I'm going to rip your life apart. The thing about reading your friends, or like reading people that you come into contact with on a daily basis, is I'm very, very skeptical about myself. I know you. I don't know everything about you, obviously. We're casual friends. But whenever you're reading somebody that you have to stay objective. But the thing is I can read my friends because my cards mean very specific things. I don't just go off of whatever. I go off of my cards. How about this? I don't feel comfortable going off script because I know that the messages that I get don't come from me. They come from out there. They're not so much in here as they are messages that I receive from outside. So I need the cards to keep me in line and maybe confirm for me what I already knew. Sometimes the cards reveal things that I didn't know were there. Okay, that's one deck. I shuffled one. Let's try the second one. Thanks, Magnus. Some people don't appreciate that. I'm the kind of person that in order to change my mind about any given particular thing, you have to come to me with a really rock hard, solid answer on something. Like the more vague something is, or the more mystical something is, the more I need you to or when it comes to history or science, I need you to hit me with some really hardcore reason for me to change my view. Yeah. Man, I need an air fryer. That's cool, Grant. Yeah, Virgo. Hey, Care Bear. Hi. Virgos. I'm a Virgo, in case you guys didn't know. That's why the thing is growing up, I always thought I was a Cancer because my sun sign is Cancer. My sun is in Cancer. But who you portray in this world is your rising sign. Your rising sign is more important. Your rising sign is more important than your sun sign. Yeah. Lauren's a Virgo too. All right. All right, now the oracle cards. Gemini. This is just a reminder for anybody who might be visiting that doesn't know me. I read birth charts. So if you go to my link tree on my profile and you go to my info, there's a link that will allow you to click to my website for you to buy a birth chart. If you've never had your birth chart done by a Vedic astrologer or by someone that practices sidereal astrology, you should. Because sidereal or Vedic astrology is more accurate than tropical astrology, in my opinion. But that's actually not my opinion, because Vedic astrology and sidereal astrology is astrology based on what's astronomically correct, where the planets and the stars actually are in the sky. So it's more scientific than tropical, which is a agriculturally based calendar. The tropical calendar is really a calendar based on the seasons, not on where the stars and planets actually are, because guess what? They do change over time. All right, you know what? I have to pee first. I cannot do this reading without peeing first. I'm going to pee on myself. I'm going to pee. Then I'm going to do your reading, Lauren, because I'll give you a second to collect yourself. Okie dokie. I love my room full of mushrooms. I love my room. My little hobbit hole. That's what Chris would have called it, my hobbit hole. Okay. Okay, Lauren. Let's find out what your spirits want me to know about you tonight. Do you have any contact with your father at all, your real father at all? Because is there something going on with your father? Or did your father take off and you don't know who he is? Or whatever father, person, figure that you had when you were young? Is there some kind of issue, or did he try to contact you recently? You got a lot of spirit showing up for you. And you've got that low-key depression card coming for you. 5 of Cups. Interesting. Okay. What the hell is that all about? Okay. So, oh, okay. Has he reached out and tried to contact with you? Because there might be something wrong with him. He could be getting ready to like experience some kind of health related problem. And that makes sense over here with the Five of Wands. Here's a message I'm trying to sketch together by what I'm seeing in the reading. It could be that there is going to be some kind of health problem by a man in your family that's close to you, like your father or an uncle or a brother or somebody. And the Five of Wands talks about you being dragged into other people's problems, other people's issues, or it's like a hook. They're trying to use that as a hook to grab you and pull you into conflict. There are people around you that want to create conflict for you. They want to create problems for you. They want to create problems that aren't there. So you need to be really, really, really fucking careful about interacting with your family, because I know how family can be. And I know how people who are in cults can be, because obviously we were in the same one. They will guilt trip you. Like, oh, your dad's sick, you have to come. Well, I don't want to see him. He's your father, you have to. Okay. You just probably need to block him. You probably just need to block this person so that they can't interact with you. And I know that's a really horrible thing, but I would block my fucking mother and father in a heartbeat if I thought they were following me on YouTube. If I thought they saw me anywhere, I would block their asses so fucking fast. Be careful with your family is what I'm getting. And I got it twice. I got the Five of Wands and I got the Five of Wands twice. So, whenever I pull the same card out of both decks, that is very, that's apropos. There's something else that's bothering me, and there's some other spirit that's like talking at me, and it's coming from the left side. It's coming from over here. And it's saying that you also need to be careful on TikTok. It's also talking about being careful on TikTok, talking about going live and going into people's lives and being a guest and things like that. The spirit is saying something like, don't be drawn into people's problems at all. I know that, back when I used to go live on TikTok and everything, I used to show up and we'd all go live in a group and everything like that, which was really beautiful. It was really great having those lives. But if you're in a group situation alive with whoever it is, okay, and there's some kind of problem that starts happening between that group and some kind of infighting or something like that, or someone has a falling out with somebody else, you need to walk away. You do not need to interact with any of them. Does that make sense? Like, let's just say, and I don't think this is going to happen because they're not that way, but let's say Magda and Bells had a falling out. Then you would need to be very, very cautious or careful about showing up in someone's lives so that people don't associate you as being part of somebody's particular camp. That's what I'm saying. Be careful about the bullshit drama you get pulled into on live. Yeah, that's exactly what I mean. You're a pure spirit, Lauren. You're a very pure spirit. Don't let your spirit get tainted by being around people that have got nothing to do but talk about other people. Anybody who's got enough time to sit in any kind of chat, whether it's virtually or not, to slam and talk shit about somebody for more than 30 seconds are people who are not spiritually evolved, people who are not elevating, people who are not moving forward on their path. Like if I have some shit to say about somebody, I'll pretty much say it and then I'll be done with it. But for people who will sit and go on and on and on and on and on in lives about other people, who gives a fuck? Tell me about it later. All right, hold on. I feel Loki around you. You got a lot of Loki energy around you. That's who that is. You got some kind of Loki around you. Okay? Or some kind of entity or spirit that wants to be represented as Loki. And when I say Loki, I don't work with the Norse pantheon. I should be, but I'm not actively working with them. They're ancestors to me. And they got mad at me because I wasn't paying enough attention to them. But this, I'm getting very, very, very strong Loki vibes off of this particular spirit. Someone who's very mischievous, someone who comes across looking younger than they actually are. They're actually really, really old, if not ancient, but they like to appear young, kind of like the vampire Lestat in Interview with the Vampire. He's got that Tom Cruise kind of energy, smooth, debonair. He's got blonde hair. It's pulled back. He's very, very pale, but very, very well dressed and very, very smooth. Ah, yeah, that sounds exactly like this. Like, I'm not going to necessarily say that this particular spirit is a nice spirit at all. This spirit is bringing very um, trickster type energy into your situation. And be careful with that. You pull the Wheel of Fortune card, and I love the Wheel of Fortune card, but the Wheel of Fortune card also talks about chaos, talks about chaos and being chaotic. And so you got to be very, very careful about the energy that you allow to be around you right now, because it could be that there's a lot of chaos brewing that you might not know about until the shit hits the fan, and then it's there. Okay. So the spirit gave you an Earthcraft card tonight, and the card that it gave you was plant seeds. Plant seeds. This kind of looks like a person that's like becoming a plant or becoming a tree. I guess they're one of those people that like decided to get buried in a pod. Plant seeds. So, what would those seeds be? The answer is I don't know. I don't have an answer for it. That's a beautiful card. And whatever plant seeds means to you, then that's the interpretation. I don't have an interpretation for it. Really? Well, there's your message. You also pulled Demacia, the beloved. Okay. And I don't know why, as soon as I pulled this card and I sat it down, I started thinking alchemy. I started thinking about traditional British magic or traditional English magic. I started thinking about like Freemasonry and all kinds of other stuff, which, is kind of like on my brain right now. But I got like, something that has to do with like something hermetic. And I don't mean like the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn. Oh, God. I'm just saying that I felt like a very, very strong impression of like that you should be studying alchemy. There's also a writer named Dion Fortune. She wrote a lot of great books that are classic about spiritism. Okay. Well, that's good. Another spirit. Here we go. I told you had a lot of spirits around you. I'm trying to get through them. You have a spirit around you that is coming across as like a chieftain. He's coming across as a chief. He's coming across as someone who's tall, who's big, he's wide. Um, he's like the chief of the tribe, but not just the chief of the tribe. He's also like he plays multiple roles within the tribe. He's coming to me as like someone very Celtic or something. Uh, Definitely very Northwestern European vibes. He seems like he's got reddish hair, reddish beard. That's Nordic. But he acts like he's not only like the chieftain leader, but he also plays some aspects within the role of ceremony and ritual, magic, or sacrifice. Yeah. Whoever that is, whoever is resonating with you right now, that's whoever that is. Okay. You pulled the Three of Cups, which talks about the importance of your spiritism. It talks about the importance of your spiritism. And then you also pulled like a wizard card. You pulled the card of the wizard or the hermit. If he, he's a Vikti. Okay. So you have like a Nordic Vikti that walks with you. Do you have like a cloaked man or like a wizard or somebody like that too? I just see the traditional image of like a guy standing there like in a gown that has like moons and stars all over it and wearing, a top, the pointy hat. You need to be taking this astrology seriously. You have a guide that's around you that is directly related to your studies in astrology. Have you been enjoying your studies in astrology? Because this particular guy is like very Nostradamus type. He looks like he's someone who would have been really, really into astrology and stuff when he was alive. Hold on, let me keep reading here. You know that you need to be paying attention to your health, and you know you need to be paying attention to your mental health because, of course, that stuff comes up, but we don't need to talk about that because you know already. So the spirit is also telling you that you need to slow down. You might feel like you're moving slowly through space right now, but it's telling you that you need to like calm down, like internally. Like even if you appear to be calm or quiet on the outside, that you need to settle down. The only thing I can think of is like one of those snow globes that you shake up the globe or the little, yeah, the globe. You shake it up and the snow goes all around and around and around. You're like that on the inside. And all of that needs to settle. It needs to come to calm. It needs to like just rest. So what I'm getting, the word that I keep getting is rest, but not rest like sleep all the time. Not like that. Not like just, it's like rest, like learn how to be active, but learn how to be active, but at rest inside, internally, to feel calm and to be okay. And know that you are okay. There's nothing wrong with you. You haven't done anything wrong. There's nothing bad about you. And try to ignore the negativity that's around you. A lot of your problem is that you've got to stop worrying about what other people think of you. You can't allow other people to affect you in any kind of way. You need to move through space flawlessly, pristinely, taking care of yourself, maintaining your respect, maintaining people's respect by being the best version of yourself, but you can't allow how other people behave or act to affect you. Hold on. And of course, you got the Ten of Pentacles, which talks about your ancestors and your ancestor spirits loving you very much, caring about you very much, and wanting to help you. Bring you stability, bring you money. All right, hold on. Spirit talks about how you need to continue on your studies. You need to be very, very diligent in your studies. I feel like you have the potential to be a really, really great witch. And in order to become a really great witch, you need to pace yourself. You need to take your time, and you need to get a game plan, a long-term plan about how you're going to live your life. So if you haven't had the opportunity to yet, you need to sit down and you need to think about the way you want to structure your life. You need a structure. You need a calendar. You need a game plan. You need to decide, this is what I want to do on a daily basis. Baseline. This is how I want my day to look. I'm going to wake up in the morning at this particular time. I'm going to have my coffee. I'm going to eat my boiled eggs, whatever. I'm going to start my day. I'm going to do readings. I'm going to work, or I'm going to read. I'm going to study so that, 6 months from now, I can take everything I'm learning right now and apply it and use it in order to make money. Did you see that person walk behind me like that? Did you see that? And then like where I am now and where I would like to see myself a year from now. Like, where is my growth? What kind of growth do I want to see? And I'm not talking about that's good. That's real good. It's not about like what was I going to say? Fuck. It's not like anything you write down can't change. It's not like anything you write down can't change. It absolutely can change. You can change your mind about what you want to do. And when I say end up in a particular place, I don't mean end up somewhere spiritually, like right now I'm half psychic and a year from now I want to be fully psychic. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about like little spiritual goals and achievements. I'm like literally how you're going to pay your bills, where you're going to live, your transportation, your state of transportation, like what do you want to do to improve the quality of your life, but you don't know what to do unless you figure out what you want your life to look like. You have to figure out exactly what is it that I want my life to look like, and then you need to start moving in that direction, whatever that is. And you're going to take losses. You're going to take some losses. You are going to lose things in this process. People, relationships, including a friendship. How's that for reading you to filth? But you definitely need to get a game plan together here. That's the most important part of your reading. You need to create a game plan for yourself. What do you want to do? What do you want to accomplish? Where are you trying to get with all of this? Do you really want to be a spiritual worker? No, it's not a bad thing at all. Matter of fact, see, the thing about like Lauren and this particular reading, what it's really talking about is that she's at a crossroads. She's working the crossroads right now. Well, I hope that helped you out in some kind of way. I did not skew that reading in any kind of way just because I know you. What came out in the cards was exactly what I would have said to anyone else. Okay. So just because I know you doesn't mean that that changed the interpretation of the cards. That's why I'm confident when I read my friends, because I know that I don't have the ability to be objective, but the cards have the ability to be objective. That's another reason why I use the tarot cards and the oracle cards, because I can't change the meaning of the cards. Whatever comes out, comes out. And it's not me trying to make shit up. It's literally just what the card means. So that's a little brief lesson for everybody that follows me, that's interested in learning how to be a reader for other people. I'm going to tell you how I read. I have oracle cards and I have tarot cards. I always use 2 decks of oracle cards and 2 decks of tarot cards. So I use a lot of cards. But what I do is before I start a reading, I always say a prayer over me and the other person I'm reading. I always pray. And I know you might be like, well, that's really super Christian that you pray. No, it's not. Every single culture and every single healing person in every single culture has some kind of ceremony or ritual that they do to initiate performing divination or initiate performing healing. It's important that you do that, whether you're praying to God or Shiva, or Orisha, whatever it is that you're working with, Thor, whatever it is that you're working with, your spirits. You invoke those people so that they can help you when you're doing your spiritual work. Then what I do is I just lay down cards. I lay down the cards in a specific way, but they don't mean anything. It's not like a Celtic cross spread where I'm like reading, okay, this card in the middle means the person, this card on the side means blah, blah, blah. I don't do all that shit. I lay down enough cards that I know I'm going to have enough material to be able to pull from to try to pull a cohesive story together, because that's what the tarot does. It paints a story, a picture. It's like a movie, it's like a film, okay? And this card represents something that's going on in the person's life, and this card represents another factor that's going on in a person's life, and this card represents another factor that's going on in a person's life. So I'm not trying to like weave together and create a story. If you're looking at tarot card spreads and you're trying to put together and weave a story, construct a story, that can be very, very difficult. The cards are already telling the story. All you have to do is look, whichever card pulls you, okay, whichever card draws you to it, like the Queen of Swords or the Nine of Cups. If I look down and the card that's pulling my attention is like the Nine of Cups, I know as a medium and someone who's very in tune with themselves that that's probably the card that I need to read first. And that card is going to start the reading. And then I'm going to look around and I'm going to find another card. And I'm going to be like, okay, now it's time for me to read this card. So when you guys watch me read, that's how I read. That's how I read the cards. I look at the cards, and whichever card is inspiring me to actually pick it up and talk about it, that's what I do. And so the story unfurls itself. The story reveals itself if you just pay attention to one card at a time. A big problem that a lot of people who are trying to get started doing readings for themselves or readings for other people, and I did this. This is why I've been doing tarot for 20 years. I've been studying this shit for over 20 years. Whenever I say I've been doing something for 20 years, I get a sharp stabbing pain in my rectum when I think about it. Okay, how old I am. Another thing I don't like about this YouTube shit is that I don't know who's in my room unless you comment. Like, unless you ever said hello, I would never know that you're in my room. It doesn't tell me who's in my room. Tell me the dream. Tell me the dream. Can you tell me? Can you just share some of it right now? I can give you feedback, and you might get feedback from other people. Well, I mean, me going live on YouTube and spending more time on YouTube is going to mean not being around people on TikTok that I like. I do enjoy hanging out with you. I do enjoy hanging out with Magda and Bells. I do like hanging out with Robert and everyone else that comes into our group and talks. I may or may not at some point in time, if I feel like it, and I see that someone's live, or someone says they're going live, like you or Bells or Magda or somebody, I might jump in and say hello. But I also see that the last couple of times, let me put it this way, the last couple of times I've scrolled past Magda and scrolled past Bells, there were unsavory characters that were on their live with them that I don't have any interest in interacting with. Okay. There are people that I'm not going to say names, I don't need to, but there are people that Magda and Bells have gone live with, I don't know, over the past week or 2 weeks, that when I see those people, I don't want to be in the same room with them. I wouldn't choose to be in the same room with them physically. I'm not going to choose to be in the same room with them digitally. You understand what I'm saying? So even though I feel lonely because I am not going to be able to see my friends, what I'm doing is going to benefit me because I have to continue to create new. I have to create new content. I have to get my message out in more areas. I need to go create fuck shit in other areas. You washed my feet with Florida water like I was Jesus Christ. Did you dry my feet with your hair? Man, that's some shit right there. That was funny, right? Wash my feet with Florida water. God damn. That's really cool, though. That's cool, and it's hysterical at the same time. So that was the dream. Does anybody have any questions, comments, objections about anything that has to do with religion, philosophy, spirituality? What does it mean? It means that ooh, fuck. What was that? What just happened? It's really gonna take some time for me to get used to going live on this platform. I think it's because I'm so used to things constantly going off in my face when I'm doing lives and things scrolling like this that just seeing me or just looking at myself or trying to look into the camera is throwing me off. It is really, really less chaotic. Yeah, it is like low fucking key up in here. Totally different vibe. Ooh, astrological simmer pots. I love that. Absolutely. What I'm doing right now, I guess there's several things that I'm doing right now. I've always got like 10 books at a time that I'm reading because I read a couple of chapters of a book and then I need a break, and then I read a couple of chapters of a different book and then I take a break and then I read something else. So I'm always reading. How many books do I have on my Kindle? I've like read the first chapter of every single one of these books. If I don't like it, I'm not going to buy the whole book. But you know how you can download the sample, and it usually has like the introduction or the first chapter in it, or some of the first chapter, so that you can see what it's about. If I didn't actually buy the thing, uh, yeah, I know. I've got 2,900 books. Oh, oh, oh. No, I've downloaded. There's 600 of them downloaded here, but it says all. What does all mean? All my purchases of all time? It's 2,900. It's a lot. It's too many books. Can we talk about boiling your bath for a second, though? Can I talk a little bit about the recent Vedic astrology one you were recommending, what you like about it. Are you talking about the book? Magnus, you're talking about the Rahu Ketu book that I posted in the. Do I remember most of the stuff that I read? Well, yeah, kind of. I mean, what the thing is that like, I will read something and then I'll be talking to someone, and then randomly that whatever that phrase in that book or that paragraph or whatever that book was talking about at the time, that was relevant to what I was doing at the time will come back. So it's like ChatGPT 4, I'm like kind of like that. I'm just kind of like a language model. I'm kind of like just like ChatGPT. I'm just like ChatGPT. Ask me a question about witchcraft or magic or something like that, or the occult, and I'll just kind of like regurgitate something in the most simplest way possible. Like my goal when I read things is to try to be able to explain the complex things as simply as possible. That's what I do. When I'm reading, I'm trying to strip everything down to the absolute most bare bones of it. Like any philosophy, any religion, any spiritual practice, or something that has to do with magic. It's like, well, what's the fucking point of any of that? That's the kind of mentality I have when I come to read books. I'm highly skeptical about everything I read because I was lied to my whole life. When you grow up being lied to and you're raised in a cult, like I was raised in a cult, you don't trust anyone. You just don't trust people. You just can't trust anybody. So Rahu Ketu. Okay, so Rahu and Ketu is the north and the south node of the moon. Okay. Rahu and Ketu in Vedic astrology or Hindu astrology are considered planets. They're not planets, they're points in space where eclipses occur. Okay. So they're points in space where the sun and the moon have eclipses, and they're considered to be shadow planets or disembodied planets. Okay. They're ghost planets. And one is Rahu and one is Ketu. Rahu is the north node of the moon. Ketu is the south node of the moon. And they are directly across from one another on the zodiac. Like wherever Rahu is, if Rahu is in Taurus, then Ketu is going to be in Libra. So they're always opposite one another. Or is that right? Taurus and Libra? Yeah, but I got something to say about that witch and kitchen. We don't heat our spiritual baths. In my tradition of Palo Mayombe and also in Voodoo and other, we don't, when we make a bath, we make the bath with room temperature water or cold water. We don't heat the plants because whenever you heat the mixture, what happens, excuse me, is that like if you're going to like, if you want to use like rosemary or fresh plants, if you're not using fresh plants and you're using dried plants, then well, yeah, I changed my mind. You might heat it. But even that, we just allow the stuff to soak. We just put everything in the bath and we allow it to soak, because when you heat up the bath, you're going to burn off or destroy the most subtle essences or aspects of the particular plant, like the oils. So when I make a spiritual bath, it was dried, yeah. There's another reason why you might want to heat a bath, is if you're trying to extract the ingredients out of a bark of a tree or a root or some other kind of hard material. Specifically when we're using tree branches, barks, or wood, or any other kind of plant that is tough. You might boil it. That might be the only way to get the essence out of it. But like a decoction. But for the most part, when we make spiritual baths with like, rosemary, mint, spearmint, or any kind of leaves and stuff like that, it's usually always done cold and applied to the body cold. Because if it's fresh plants and fresh fruits and fresh flowers, you want the freshness of the essence of the plant to be in the bath. Okay. So if you don't have to cook your bath, don't. If I tell you to make a bath with coconut milk and fresh water and a shot of vodka or a shot of Florida water or some essential oils or this and that and this and that, which is pretty much what my baths are consisted of. And I say, slice up some apples and put it in there, or take a handful of rosemary, fresh rosemary or fresh basil. Basil is excellent for removing negative energy off the body and internally. Eating fresh basil is very, very good for you. You let that shit soak, okay? And you massage it with your hands and you rip the plants up with your hands in the liquid, in the fluid, so that all of the natural components of the plant that's being destroyed, dying, died on your behalf to save you, that all of the essence is there. And even when you bathe yourself, you can bathe with the natural ingredients still in the bowl. I mean, a lot of people strain it out and they just keep, the bath, the herbally smelling bath. But you can literally, you know, let the basil leaves or let whatever leaves of whatever flower that you've put into your spiritual bath just pour over you and rub it on your body, because what you're trying to do is you're trying to remove any negative energy that's off of you and attract and invite those highly evolved, highly elevated spirits. Spirits, especially highly elevated spirits, like sweet smelling things. They like the smell of cologne. They like the smell of perfume. They like the smell of incense and resin. So in my traditions, we use colognes and perfumes and things like that, and food, fresh fruit, fresh vegetables, and flowers, lots and lots of flowers to worship the spirits and invite the spirits in, because they like that, like a lot of times I will throw parties for my spirits. And when I throw a party for my spirits, I'll put out cupcakes, or I'll put out cake, or I'll put out chocolate or something sweet, and I'll put out like coffee with a lot of sugar in it, and blah, 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 blah. So let me get back to Rahu and Ketu. You see how squirrely I am, like how I'm all over the place? That book, Rahu Ketu, what it does is Rahu is your future and Ketu is your past. So Ketu, the south node of the moon, has a lot to do with your past lives. It has a lot to do with ancestors, origin. Okay, the south node of the moon has a lot to do with origin. It also tells you about your past karmas. Wherever Ketu is in your birth chart is a tip-off. And your Atmakarka, the planet that represents your soul, which is the planet that has the highest degrees in the sky at the moment of your birth. Ketu and your Atmakarka planet are going to play a very big role in helping you determine why the hell you're here. Why did you incarnate? Why are you here? And since Rahu and Ketu are always opposing one another on opposite sides of the zodiac, I'm looking at my astrology board. No, it's Aries and Libra, Taurus and Scorpio. Whenever you look at the placement of Rahu and Ketu, it will tell you about like your karma. It'll tell you about like what you're here to work on. The other really amazing and astonishing aspect of people's birth charts is the Atmakarka. Atma meaning self and Karka meaning signifier. The Atmakarka is the planet that's holding the highest degrees in the sky at the moment of your death. Your birth, not your death. Your Atmakarika planet can be Sun, Moon, Mars, Mercury, Venus, Jupiter, Saturn, and some people say Rahu, the north node of the moon, can be someone's Atmakarika. That there are people that believe that it can be, and there are people that believe that it's not, that it can't be. I believe that it can be. I believe that Rahu can be someone's Atmakarika. Okay, Rahu is my Atmakarika. That explains a lot about me if you know anything about astrology. I believe that Rahu definitely can be someone's Atmakarika. And if Rahu can be someone's Atmakarika, yeah. So whatever house your Atmakarika planet lands in your birth chart, that house is going to be very, very, very important to you. And there's going to be reoccurring themes that are going to follow you, chase you, hunt you down your entire life because it's part of your karma. It's part of you burning off the karma that was meant to burn off in this lifetime. There is some kind of karma that you're trying to get rid of, and the house that your Atmakarika sits in is the house that is going to mean you've got to burn your karma off and bust your ass in this aspect, this area of your life. And that's where Vedic astrology becomes incredibly practical to you. It also helps you put things into perspective. It also gives you a meaning to live, and it kind of helps you, it informs you on your destiny. If any of you want me to do your birth chart, please follow the link tree on my profile in the info section. I read people's birth charts. I love reading people's birth charts. It's my favorite fucking thing in the world to do is read people's birth charts. I love astrology. But yeah, what did you say? Thanks, Magnus. Sagittarius is Gemini's opposite. So do you have Rahu and Ketu in Sagittarius and Gemini? I think those people are fucking upstairs. I can hear the girl. She's starting to coo. She coos like an owl when she's getting ready to come. And then I get the ooh, ooh, ooh. Oh boy. As far as what herbs to and not to put on your head, I mean, do you want my honest opinion? My honest opinion is that's going to depend on the spiritual tradition that you're practicing. Her spirit animal is an owl. It's going to depend on the tradition that you're practicing, really. I mean, I practice multiple traditions, and some things that are taboo in one tradition are not taboo in the other. But I'm a chaos magician for the most part. I'm a chaotic person, a chaotic witch bitch. So I have the ability to be adaptable and see things from two perspectives, why somebody would do it this way and why somebody wouldn't do it that way. Like, I get it, I understand. But I think it all depends on what you're trying to accomplish. Obviously, nothing that's poisonous are going to give you a rash. Oh, that's hysterical. whatever tradition you want to practice or be a part of, you just got to make sure that you become well educated about, what it is you're getting into, why you want to get into what you're getting into, what you expect out of getting into what you're getting into, and how you're going to manage it once you get yourself into it. You need to be very practical about these things. I'm sorry, that's my answer for you. Maybe that's not the right answer for you, but that's my answer. Is that it depends on the tradition. uh, well, I would follow the guidance of my godparents. So, like, if my godmother was a Sansista or an Espiritista, okay, and she said, do this particular bath a particular way for your spirits, then I would do it the way that she recommended. And if I went to an astrologer that also provided remedies, like with gemstones or spiritual baths using planetary energies, and their recommendation was to do a bath in a particular way, as long as it didn't break any of the taboos that you had sworn to avoid in any other tradition, then you can do that. See, I'm initiated into multiple traditions now. I never expected to be initiated into any other religion ever in life, but it came about that I was initiated into other traditions. And there are things that I can't do in one tradition and things that I'm not supposed to do in other traditions. So I have taboos or things that I need to avoid in life. So anything that's not going to break one of your taboos that you made a commitment to abstaining from, then yeah, you should be fine. Oops. Well, maybe so. That whole Florida water on the feet, though, man, that's funny as hell. That got me together really, really, really good. Washing my damn feet with Florida water. I gotta tell Sophia that. I gotta tell Mama Sunfire that. She'll get a real kick out of it. I know exactly what she'd say. Well, did she wipe them dry with her hair? I already know what she'll say. That shit's so funny. All right, guys, look, I really love you all. You're wonderful. You're my friends. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for supporting my live. Thank you for coming here. Thank you for trusting me enough to read you. I love doing it. I will be on Facebook posting more stuff because I actually post a lot on Facebook. See, I post a lot of content on Facebook. Anything that's in my head at the time, or any picture that I find, or anything I think is funny that I can share, I share it. So, like, I am like horrible on Facebook. People hated me on Facebook back in the day, back when I was a big asshole on Facebook. But I you'll see me sharing a lot of things on Facebook. And one thing I like about Facebook is I get to share things that I like, um, things that I want to see. And then if other people are about it, they're about it. And if they don't like it, they can unfriend me. Oh, I do accept friend request. Absolutely. Yeah, Philip Ryan Deal. I have a little verified blue check mark beside my name and my picture. I verified myself on Facebook because of the fact that there are many other Philip Deals on Facebook, including Philip Deal profiles I made that I got locked out of that I can't get into, and people who are pretending to be me. So if you see Philip Ryan Deal verified on Instagram or Facebook, um, then that would be me because that means that I confirmed my identity. That's why I did that. Somebody was like, why are you paying Elon Musk for the blue check mark? Like, well, I want a blue check mark so that I can prove that it's my fucking account. Stupid. All right, anyway, guess what? I do not have a pizza. I am not going to be able to have a pizza tonight, even though tomorrow I'm going to go on a motherfucking quest for pizza. And you know the pizza that I haven't had in a really long time? Prosciutto. Oh my God, I would love to have a pizza with mozzarella and prosciutto, black olives, and mushrooms. Black olives, mushrooms, prosciutto, maybe even some greens like some fresh basil and mozzarella. Oh my God, I think I'm gonna make my own pizza. I'm gonna go buy all that shit fresh, chop up some tomatoes. You know, I used to be a vegan. I was a vegan for a very, very long time, uh, like 2 years. 2 years doesn't sound like a long time, but 2 years not eating meat, that's a really long time. If you eat meat, I eat meat now again. I went back to eating meat. But tonight I'm going to dream of pizza. And when I wake up in the morning, I'm going to have a really big, hard morning wood for some pizza. And I'm going to go out on the street and I'm going to go looking for pizza. Like I'm looking for a $2 whore. I have had Hawaiian pizza. All right, guys. Love you to death. I'll see you on Facebook. Thank you for coming around. Thank you for supporting me. I will talk to you later. Have a great night. All right. Bye.